I just watched my entire team leave FIU, and I'm not joking. We had 51 guys either transfer or graduate. That means going into year 2 of this rebuild, it's a fresh start. And I finally got my Vice City jersey for me to rep while we play these games. It is a little bit tight, I'm not gonna lie, but it's so sick that I don't care. What is far more important though is 4-star quarterback Alexander Bean that we convinced to come here over Memphis. His accuracy is never gonna be great, but we're gonna continue to pound the rock with the true freshman. And that worked last year since we're coming off of a bowl win. That was the school's first since 2018, but like I said, we lost about every single starter. On top of that, I have it on the hardest difficulty with the chance that up to 30 players can transfer out every season too. I think the attraction of playing in Miami though actually worked because we signed 3 4-star transfers that came in and developed so well, they're taking our defense to a whole other level. Literally, every single one of the top 8 players on this roster are all on our defense. So I have high expectations there where we gave up just 22.7 points per game last season, which isn't bad, but I want to give up even fewer this year. What problems does FIU still have though? Well, basically our entire receiving core, which transferred out at the end of last year, is set to transfer out again. And it stinks because a guy like JoJo Stone, a preseason conference All-American, could be a stud for us over the next 3 years, but our brand exposure will never be good enough. We do have a 6'8 tight end in transfer Jackson Warren to throw the ball to though. My only issue with him is he only has 73 speed. With a true freshman at quarterback, I really don't know what our offense is going to look like, but we have to go up on the road against number 3 Miami. We have to try and beat FAU for the first time in like 10 years. We have to go on the road to Oklahoma. There's a lot of challenges this season. With all that in mind though, I am still setting the goal for this video for us to finish in the top 3 of Conference USA. I think using the portal we were able to reload enough. We'll see once we take on Kent State to open up the season. But first, I want to talk recruiting because at the end of this year, we're set to lose another 28 players. You're going to see a couple 4-stars that we're just taking a chance on. Then we have to work on building up our offensive line. There's someone named Terrell Doucette as a running back. He only has 84 speed, but I really want to sign the elusive bruiser. On top of that, we got Lyle Bullocks. He's an 88 speed contested specialist from Florida. He's 6'4", so this could be our new Alex Perry that wins jump balls. There's also a couple gym tight ends that we're going after. One of them's faster than the other, so we have to keep that in mind. That's basically the rundown though of our board so far. I'm also going after another quarterback, Raphael Booth. I don't know if he'd ever see the field for us, but he seemed to have decent stats. With all of that out of the way though, I think you know what time it is. I think it is time that we hop into our first game of season number 2 against the Golden Flashes. Of course, we had to rock the Vice jerseys to open up the season. If I'm going to be wearing it right here, they sent me an actual jersey. It fits like one. I have to be able to also wear them in game. They gave me number 26 because it's college football 26. I really like the thought behind that. These are some of my favorite jerseys in college football. When I was talking on the phone with them, that was actually one of my main selling points. I was like, if you're going to send me merch to wear in videos, if I'm going to rep FIU, I need some Vice City stuff. Let's see who we're going up against though. We got a 70 overall quarterback. He isn't too quick. What's going to be nice about defense is even though we lost our best corner, using the transfer portal, I thought we'd be okay. Last year, I was able to man up Brian Blades II here every single time. You would think that Wilson could do the same. But if I watch Jeremiah Wilson get toasted like that again, I'm not going to do it. Over the last few years, Kent State has been one of the worst teams in college football. So the expectations are pretty high that we're not going to lose. I mean, Jordan Thomas is just eating these guys alive with the pressure at the moment. On third down, they're not even getting close to being in field goal range either. And it is time for Alexander Bean to take the field. We know he is never going to be one of the more accurate quarterbacks in the country, but we can run the football. It's going to be so nice to just be able to just take off with him for 10 yards. And let's say I wanted to do a direct snap to our running back, Anthony Carey. Well, that was bad stick. He's probably going to split this backfield with Sterling Joseph, who's now a sophomore. He just had a great offseason. We are faced with a 3rd and 10 pretty early on though, and Alexander Bean sensing the pressure. It's not exactly the most ideal way to start the year. And did you see that punt? I didn't recruit a punter. I think they're giving us a major penalty for playing a kicker at punter. I honestly thought the game was just going to sign us a walk-on to use there, but as you can see, Robert has to play both. If we cannot punt the ball all year, I don't know how to describe how much trouble we're in. We lean on our defense. That is what made sure we won so many games last season. But it might be time to choose some of these guys out, because how are they breaking tackles like that? We're getting dotted by Kent State. I was honestly expecting this to be an incredible warm-up game. And don't get me wrong, I still think we're going to be okay. I mean, we have literally been able to force 4 sacks but they're going to be on a 3rd and 9. I think staying in cover 2 is the move here. I see that receiver open. It doesn't matter. Sophomore defensive tackle Jordan Thomas has 3 sacks in the first quarter. This is what I was talking about when I said the defense is going to have to carry the load for us. I just don't see us holding up offensively that well. But as time goes on, Alexander Bean will get better, and there's Sterling Joseph. Another thing we did really well last year was just quickly getting out passes to our tight ends. So we got to make sure that we continue to do that. I'm going to see the hole, and we're going to get 5. Whenever we get to really throwing the ball, though, we're going to have to find Warren. There he is. He's down at the 30. I'm expecting a big year out of him. We'll see if he can hold his block. I just couldn't squeeze through. And on 3rd and 7, we're going to have a receiver underneath. JoJo Stone gets us the first. These long drives are exactly what we're looking for. Trying to scramble here with Alexander Bean. We're going to juke behind the line of scrimmage. But it just wasn't there. We're going to see if we can hit our drag in stride. Clausen comes underneath it, and Clausen goes to the 1. I know this has been a lot of plays, but we're going to be able to score the first touchdown of the day. And our true freshman gets into the end zone for the very first time. Kent State's going to have to figure out how to respond, and they just found the perfect running lane. First play for them, we have Teo Johnson coming over to make the tackle. We cannot be getting spread out or stretched like that. We have got to be able to bring this kid down. Aiden Harris has literally been in for 2 plays. He's already got 51 rushing yards. And I'm going to be honest, EA, what's the point of me having a zone there if he's not going to pick that off? I'd understand if that kid was like a 70 overall, but he's not. He's a 93, where we just gave up a wide open touchdown to Kent State. We literally got on such a good run midway through the year last year. I'm afraid it's not going to happen again. And I just don't love what I'm seeing so far. Though, Alexander Bean, hold your block, Warren. Jackson Warren so far is no Dallas Payne. Though, if he can bring this one in and then just run straight through this dude, I would have been happy. Down to 34 seconds left in the first half now. We are literally just waiting for JoJo Stone to get a little farther away. And this might seem like an odd play call. I think their play call is far more odd, dropping that many guys back. We're just going with a quarterback draw where Alexander Bean cuts to the outside. 1 kid to beat, and he can't catch him. If we can make sure this kid never transfers away, which he probably will, the better that he plays. The future for Florida International is looking bright. I am currently proud to be repping this jersey. We have the same amount of passing yards, but we've run the ball a little bit better than them. I think sacks have made the biggest difference so far. I know that we're playing Kent State, but I do notice the stadium is a lot more full than last year. It's like everyone's getting really excited. We're making progress as a program. It's just not great using Jackson. Last year, Dallas Payne was fast at tight end for us. It made it viable to continue to feed him. And even at 6'8", Jackson Warren isn't the best blocker in the world either. Even if he is our highest overall player, I don't care about overall. We're going to see who fits our team best. If our highest overall offensive player isn't working out for us, we'll sub in someone better. For now, though, at least offensively, I feel like we have had a solid start to the day, but it looks like they're going to make this drive a little bit more difficult for us. I'm going to send this one up and see if we can make this catch. Sterling Joseph dropped it. He had that in his hands too, which is the worst. I don't think we're going to be able to pick this up. Here's where you got to pay attention though. We saw how bad his first punt was. Look at how weak that kick is. I am sorry, but a Division I kicker, if you moved him over to punter, he's not kicking it 10 yards. I get they want you to have a punter and a kicker, but come on. It's definitely going to make me reconsider how I recruit. I originally would just take whatever walk-on we could get there. Antonio Patterson should have honestly most likely had an interception in that spot, but Jeremiah Wilson playing better man-to-man coverage there. It's what you'd expect out of someone of his caliber. The one benefit we have being in Miami, being at FIU over some of the other colleges in Conference USA is the fact that we have money to spend, though we can't run the ball. I know we no longer have KJ Owens, but that was our whole identity last season. The worst part is I don't trust us to punt here, so we're going to run a fake, and the blocks just didn't hold. You know, some of you probably saw some of our transfers and like, wow, it's going to be an easy season for FIU. I don't think that's going to be the case. I mean, so far, I'm just not seeing it. It's going to be 3rd and 11. And we'll see if I can lurk anybody with Brady Hubbard. He was one of the transfers that came in. You really cannot make this up. Jordan Thomas, he's about to have a career year. As for everybody else, though, I'm not so sure. We're trying to go back with the quarterback draw. It just wasn't there. And what are we going to do? We're going to literally punt it for like 10 yards if we can't get this 3rd down. I'm going to have to figure something out because I mean, this is just ridiculous. Not recruiting a punter might go down as one of the worst decisions I've ever made in a dynasty. Come on. We wrecked that guy. He didn't even know where he was at on the field. I just need that fumble there. They run it for a 3rd time on 3rd down, but we're good. Interestingly enough, they're going for it on 4th and 3, and guess who's there? Brady Hubbard. He got injured on the play with bruised ribs, but Hubbard will return soon. And we're currently averaging like 2 yards per carry, so that needs to change. We still have a full quarter of football ahead of us. We honestly might need to change up our play style versus what we did last season. I remember being so scared to move the football, especially the first few games. It caused us to choke some matchups. Maybe we go back to that mentality where we lean on stuff like a QB blast. A bubble would work so well in this spot. Alexander Bean, you got to be there. See, here's the thing. It's 4th and 1. I should be punting in this situation, but if our punter punts for 10 yards, then realistically, it makes no sense to punt here. Did we get enough? We did. Not being able to change sides of the field is literally going to be one of the worst parts of this entire year, though. Like, just being on a 2nd and 12, I am so worried because if we can't somehow make this 3rd down, convert on it, Kent State's literally just going to have another chance to score. Do we trust Alexander Bean to make this throw? I do. I trust him to find Devon. Just thinking about our current situation, it's honestly smart for us to start worrying a little bit more about the clock. We probably need to get more time, though. And what do you mean there's an injury timeout? Alexander Bean's going to be out. We got sophomore quarterback Zachary Waters in for 3rd and 16. I mean, I don't know what to do. I'm going to try different punts throughout the year and see what we can get with him just to see if they'll go any farther. Seems like that one with backspin is going to really hurt us, but it at least went a little bit farther. We just have to get to it before the backspin hits. We're just not going to face teams as bad as Kent State offensively, though, in the future. That is the biggest issue we're going to run into. No shot! No shot! We just got done dirty like that. Who is this kid? We need to pay him to transfer here. This is not good. This is not good. Alexander Bean, he is suffering from wear and tear. We have one guy to make miss here, though, and we can't. Without having a great receiving tight end either, plays like this, which I leaned on so much last season, just don't feel as good because I am seriously trusting us to make plays after the catch. On 3rd and 4, I'm going to look for Joseph, even though he's our running back, for a really quick read. If he's not there, I was hoping that I could take the drag. I had to throw that away. I ran backwards way too far. I was honestly just super panicking. We're going to go over to Warren, but he is getting locked up. He drops it. This is not good. We don't have that much time to get Kent State off of the field, and they've opted in throwing the ball. I'm going to have to take a real look at this receiving core. And honestly, some of our guys in coverage too. If we're going to make it back to a bowl game and win again, we have to come up with a new game plan. It can't be the same game plan as last year either because it's just not working. Here we go. Massive 3rd and 5. I figured the draw was probably coming, but we just didn't make the tackle in time. I mean, that's the game. There's nothing we can do. Kent State's going to take us down. We would have had to get a fumble there. It is over. It might be bad luck to currently be wearing this Vice jersey. I'm going to take off the Vice jersey. If I can figure out how to like get it off. It's very tight. I can't even be mad with Alexander Bean's first performance either. I mean, he played so well for us. We had a career game on the defensive side of the ball with 4 sacks from Jordan Thomas. If you think I'm going to let that one game ruin the rest of this episode, the rest of this whole season, though, you have lost your mind. We're going to figure out how to retain these players. We are going to win ball games. We're going to keep sending pressure with Jordan. We are going to recruit a punter because we clearly could have used one of those. Fortunately for us, he's interested and no one wants him either. I just have to really think. I trust our defense to be strong. I mean, we held them to just 14 points. We know what's happening in our quarterback room. Our running back room just felt a lot worse than last year, but I think it's because we lost a lot of our offensive line. I mean, if you saw episode 1, KJ Owens, he was a monster for us whenever we ran it. But so was everybody else, and this is the tight end room where we have no threats. That's why I'm recruiting some vertical threats for this next season. It's just so unfortunate that Miami's the next team on our schedule on the road again, one of our rivals, and then we have to play rivals FAU after that. So 2 games that are going to be very tough for us where we still need to figure things out. When I'm able to consistently run the ball with this team, we're fine. When I can't, I panic. I genuinely believe, though, that we have what it takes to keep this game against the Hurricanes competitive because of our defense. I will say, though, it's not going to be fun to play Mark Fletcher Jr. again. He literally decimated us last season. We get the sack. And look at this. In the trenches, we have so many less pounds than Miami. This is one of the cool displays I think you should pay attention to. Shout out to CJ Gardner-Johnson for pointing that out to me because now that I'm aware of it, you know whenever you can run the ball or when you need to be scared that the other team's going to run a lot. They are going to win the size mismatch 9 times out of 10, which is why some of our guys need to gain some weight in the offseason. That's not a first down. I mean, we have nothing to lose. I'm going to challenge it. He probably got it, and this is really dumb, but if we could get them off the field, I'd take it. Sure enough, it didn't work, and there goes Mark Fletcher Jr. The Miami quarterback's currently Emory Williams. we should be able to make this a 3rd and 10 though. I'm actually really happy about that. We'll see where they end up going. He has someone over there, but we're wrapping up. I also see Websley Etienne out here on punt team. Unfortunately, with some of the transfers, he is no longer going to be my user, our starting safety. But hang on. One play I forgot about last week was being able to read this bubble pop. It looks like the Hurricanes are going to be all over it. And then I don't know if we even have the talent for this to get pulled off well, but I tried it. It feels like every situation is basically 4 down territory. We make it 4th and 1. We stay in hurry up mode, and there's just not enough bodies out there to guard Devon, but we need him to be faster. Losing all of our receiving threats was the worst thing that could have happened to this roster for a team that's also losing their quarterback. We do have JoJo Stone. We'll see what he can do on 3rd and 4. I'm going to get a slant look, and he's going to have to catch it. Last year, I think we threw 4 picks against Miami, so I'm literally just hoping for us to throw like 2 this season. We're keeping things pretty competitive early on, though, which I love. For this RPO read, they've already taken out JoJo Stone by pressing over there, so it's either we throw this to Warren, who is wide open, and we get a touchdown. It is the first time Jackson Warren gets into the end zone for FIU. That was honestly like a flawless drive, but I just thought of something. If we ever have to punt the ball, we're not going to be able to hang on to a lead. Like, we could honestly blow a 21-point lead so fast this season. Just knowing how our offense currently is, it's probably going to be hard for us to get ahead by that much in the first place. But I am sure it will happen at some point, and I'm already just preparing myself for the worst. If we could just get them into a 3rd down situation, I'd actually feel really good, but instead, we're giving up a touchdown. I think we ran cover 2 too many times and they were able to adapt. The stadium pulse hasn't even picked up yet either. So once that does, we are not going to be able to move the rock. This team's just not on the same page. Everyone seems to be all over the place. That's a catch. But I am stressing on every single play, and there's no separation. I mean, how is a true freshman receiver about to be a star Miami corner? It's just a lot to ask for. On 3rd down, I think we have Clausen. It wasn't even a good throw. What a pass from Alexander Bean, by the way. I mean, that meter was completely messed up. These guys are playing like they want it so far, but I don't know how much longer we can keep this up for. Alexander Bean slips out of there. There we go. Is he not in? There is just something so satisfying about running the ball on this game. I don't know how to describe it. It feels better than last year, but it might also be because I just learned that as long as you don't hit speed boost behind the line of scrimmage, the blocking's better. We are honestly just locked in at the moment. Cover 2, everything. Everything's boxed, but they still picked it up. This is what I'm talking about, though, with our defensive line versus their O-line. You saw the stat comparison before the game. We are simply much smaller than that. We need our guys to hit the weight room. I was hoping that on 3rd down, they went with a run. We almost got them off of the field, too, there. That was pretty sweet. But do you see how my coverage is just messed up before the play? Like, they're going to get a huge gain. Or we get the interception with Fields. No eyes, no picks. Don't see that there. I turned around with him. I clicked on, we have a chance to upset number 3 Miami. The second I say that, though, I probably just jinx it. They're going to come out playing a whole different level of football. The real problem here is if we don't manage to do anything successfully, we are giving this ball back to them way too quick. I honestly might just go for an arm punt. I would much rather go for an arm punt. That was great coverage there. We got backspin on this ball. It's not going to bounce at all. And that's how quickly things can change because they're probably going to make it 14-all before the end of the first half. I probably am blind as well. I just didn't see anything to take. I mean, look at this. They're running the ball. They have no respect for us. They're going to get this pass out there at the 10. I don't even know if I want the ball back before the end of the first half either. Maybe I do. I really don't know how to feel. I just called a timeout, though we should be getting another sack here. There's no way. The worst part is all of our zones are getting flipped around like crazy. EA, you can't do this. You cannot cause us to give this up. We did. It does mean the end of the first half, though. We didn't have any timeouts left where they just hit the kick. That bug with the zones has got to be patched like immediately, though. I don't know how you launch the game in this state. I don't know if that was there during early access either, because I basically only played Road to Glory and Imperialism. I waited to take a Dynasty seriously for my first Dynasty series, and let's start this second half with the first down. I don't know why I'm throwing the ball, though I saw Clausen have a chance to get open there. I think what I'm hoping for is we can get another quarterback run to go our way. We'll see if the blocking lines up. It does. We're just going to have to slide. We have the numbers here as well. We'll see if we have to keep this or what. They were ready for it, though. This is 4-down territory. As long as I'm not on, like, the 20-yard line, everything is 4-down territory at the moment. We're going to get that out quick. and we're going to pick it up. I don't think you all understand. Punting it for 10 yards is one of the scariest things that could happen. I feel so uncomfortable on offense because it puts so much pressure on us on every single drive. Though there's Sterling Joseph. Maybe we just put him out there on the field more if he does better than Carey. I don't think our running back issues are a running back problem, though. I think it's our offensive line. I mean, here we go. 3rd and 9. We're going to have to get this corner route out, and it's going to be inaccurate straight into their hands. But what do you do when you're literally going to punt it for another 10 yards? I think you go for it. We're going to hopefully get... Oh, no. Oh, no. I hit the wrong button. We had the underneath. We had a first down right there. It got to me. It actually got to me. The lights were too bright. The stadium pulse through the roof. I just panicked. It's called self-imposed stadium pulse. I tried to blitz in there, by the way, and they picked me up. This offensive line is really going to make me upset, though they didn't hold up there. This is such a big 3rd and 13, though. They are running the football. That's so weird. What did I tell you all about this defense, though? It's how I want to win games this season. Look at that. There is just no way that we're going to be able to do anything in those situations. We don't have the speed to get around these guys. And this is a bad 3rd and 10. What am I going to do if we don't pick this up? Literally punt it to like the 20-yard line? I mean, that's what's going to happen. He was out of bounds on that route, by the way, so there's a flag. I saw it. I saw he stepped out, but it was my main read once our tight end was locked up. They're going to decline. And how far do we think this punt's about to go? You've got to be kidding. You've got to be kidding. This just has to be a bug. You're not going to punt it for 5 yards as a good kicker. He's got like 92 kick power. We have the numbers there to make the tackle, though. I don't think you all understand. We're not out of this yet. We aren't. We hold them to a field goal here, though our coverages are flipped, so we have to burn a timeout. Anyway, we hold them to a field goal here, and we're okay. Come on, send the pressure, force a fumble even. I can't believe they're going for it, though, and I'm stuck. It doesn't matter. That is Jordan Thomas making a play. Never mind, different guy. But look at where we're at on the field. We got to get out of here. I don't know if this bubble is going to be there, but if it's not, then we're just going to hand this off to Carey. And we have a direct snap to him on 3rd and 1. I'm really trusting our left tackle to hold up there. You know, once we get a punter, I'll go back to being a normal coach. But if I am a coach and I see we can't kick it more than 5 yards, we're going for it on like every 4th down this year. That's got to be enough. It's enough. It's just such a bad coaching decision. If you're literally handing the ball back to them, you might as well go for it. They made screens better for when your team's actually like decent, but for our guys, they're still not good enough. You see how much time is left though. There's like no stadium pulse. I don't think Miami turned up. I think they were expecting us to just be an easy win. I wanted to come out and go with another halfback direct snap, but as we wind down this clock, I might actually take a timeout, change up the play call, because this is an important play. See that guy over there on Jackson Warren? I want to see how he plays him. If he lets him cut inside, you've got to be joking, Alexander. You've got to be joking. There's a freshman quarterback for you. The lights are still too bright. I'm sitting there like explaining to you all what I'm thinking, like it's about to be some genius stuff too, and I just throw an interception. This is the worst. Come on, FIU. We're not getting a draw out of Miami, though we get the sack anyway. But every time we come out, our zones keep on flipping. I think they flipped around completely here. EA just gave them the game. EA just gave them the game. I don't want any excuses that our guys are like rattled or something either. I mean, it's just dumb. Here we go though. 2nd and 10. I see the size mismatch. We're throwing it up to Jackson Warren. You know, I went away from jump balls. That's something we've not done much of this season. And then I signed Jackson Warren because he's a 6'8" tight end. I'm not going to be ashamed to use him like that. I just don't see anything. 3rd and 10. Man-to-man coverage. Let's give it to him. Oh, come on. I don't really trust our guys to get open in any other way. There's no communication going over there to JoJo Stone, our best receiver. So this is the game. We have man-to-man again. Cutting in. Catch it. Catch it. That is such a good route. We're actually able to hot route a little bit here. But look at how boxed everybody is. Go ahead. Get out of bounds. See, while we can get everybody this spaced out, I think what we have to revert to is a quarterback run because they're not going to be expecting it. And Bean is going to stiff arm one, but that's all. I think our jailbreak screen could work really well, too, if that guy doesn't get over in time. I just want to make sure that we get out of bounds and keep getting yards. We're dealing with some bad wear and tear at the moment, but look at how they're playing. They're backed up on Tyson Carter. They still get over to him. That is crazy to me. I guess we need to audible real quick. There's not that much time left. If we can get out of bounds and take a couple more, we will. See, the game is going to want us to take a field goal and send this one to overtime, but I don't. I want to beat Miami right now. We don't have a choice, though. We're just going to have to clutch up here. Everything's shaking. Don't look at the meter. Just look at the thing in the middle, and that will help you hit these kicks. What I have figured out is if I sit there and I look at that shaking bar as I'm trying to get the thing in the middle timed up, it'll just freak me out, and then I'll end up shanking it, so just don't look at it. Now, what I'm hoping is they'll just run the ball, and they'll take this one to overtime. Seems like they will. But we have to be able to stop them, and we won the toss. Okay, we start on defense. We have our chance. Listen, I'm not saying our odds are incredible, but I believe we can hold them to a 3 and out. I mean, first of all, we have to act like that never happened, but this is where we get them. We've knocked them backwards. What is that pursuit there? This is why we need to make our team better, because at the moment, they just aren't good enough, dude. Oh my gosh, it's now 3rd and goal, and they throw it on the run. What a throw. I want you to know we are going for that 2-point conversion. This screen's not there. I don't even know if we're going to be able to get in the first place, but assuming that we do. I've got that 2-point conversion in the back of my head. And what was that throw? We are just asking to lose. I think this direct snap can hold up pretty well, though. Whenever I'm panicked, I'm hitting the sprint button way too fast. We got the bubble out. Clausen's at the 5. And I'm going to be honest, this is not the time for us to test new stuff. We're just going to keep it simple, hand it off. We're in the end zone. Okay, they're stacking the box. I really don't like this look. I don't want to run the ball again. We might need to use our timeout. I want to keep them spaced out. Maybe we send the QB draw look, and it's a 5v4. Now, there's got to be a way for me to target somebody, because if we double team that kid, that's the kid I think that has been destroying us. All right, here we go. Double team him. Hold up. Hold up. Fight your way in. No. No. We were an inch away from upsetting number 3 Miami. And honestly, we had them on that 4th down. We should have won. I don't even know what to say. Like, I just need to take some time and decompress, because if we go into our next game where I'm still this frustrated, we will not do well at all. It's just these losses have added more guys that want to transfer away from FIU. I can't blame them. I mean, they should have known we weren't going to beat Miami. We are falling behind on Pope, though. Again, I just don't want to stay on a 4-star if we're not going to be in the lead, so that's why we're pulling out. While we keep Frank Gee, I think he likes how good our defensive tackle is. He's from Florida. The fit makes sense, though looking at our school grades, I think it's going to be another year of just not hard selling on any of these prospects. I do believe that we played very well there versus what we did against Kent State. We're picking up some more stuff, so the farther we get into the year, the better we're probably going to do. We can still turn things around. I just want to beat FAU. It has been so long since the Panthers took home the Shoula Bowl. I think we've only won it like a few times in school history, and that needs to change. The more that I think about it too, I can pull it off. I sat there for a bit. I thought about how blessed I am, how grateful I am, got good health. I don't know what this clip is, but just more on the positive side of things. It doesn't matter we lost those last 2 games. We can bounce back from it. As long as we don't lose another heartbreaker, I think I'll be able to keep my cool. I don't quite remember how we lost this game last season. I know it was close. And let's see, what are they going with? That's easy to lock up. They have to throw it above our zones. I really need to figure out what causes some of our zones to flip like this, though, because if we could just avoid it in the future, we'd be so much better off. Let's see, 2nd and 6, little halfback draw. You know we're making that play. And this is setting up to be a pretty good start. They have to throw it somewhere. Great user. What are we going to do on the offensive side of the ball, though? We have no impact players there. I just am not willing to consider Alexander Bean one yet. He's only played a couple games. We're going to get him warmed up with the screen pass on 2nd down. If our blocks hold, we get the first. And I really, really want to try and see if we can get JoJo Stone going deep, but they have so much safety help back there, and he just doesn't have the speed for it. It was never open. I just was kind of curious if he could be a deep threat for us. Read that hole pretty well, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be able to set the edge here with that guy. Yeah, he was able to shed him, but it's okay. We already passed it. I don't think you all understand. This is probably the most important game on our schedule. I have to be locked in for it. I just don't want to be the 3rd worst team in the Miami area for another season. What a start with that carry as well. Not anywhere for carry to go, but we can just mix in this little RPO where we hit our tight end, and Jackson Warren gets out. What a juke! That made me feel a type of way. I mean, we needed it, and there's Alexander Bean reaching out for the tutty. That type of offensive start is always what you're going to ask for, though here they just found out how they can gash our D. Not too stressed about it, though our zones keep on flipping. I don't know if we're ever going to be able to lock down. Like, that's the most annoying part. But double coverage? Why would you throw it there? Jeremiah Wilson getting his first interception. I just feel like, at least on the defensive side of things, we are so locked in. And then over here on the offensive side, you don't know what's going to happen. They got in a free rusher. I don't like this, but what are we going to do? We're going to punt it to the 40-yard line. That can't happen. So they got a hand there. We cannot win. We're not going to be able to win. Throw me a pick. Throw me a pick. By the end of this season, how much of this team am I still going to like, and how much of it am I going to want to have enter the portal? That's something I think about a lot. I am going to give up the running back underneath and then let them take their three. We knew that when we weren't moving the ball there, we can't punt it, so they were always going to get this. That is why on this drive, we just have to be very careful about our first 5 to 6 plays. As long as we can inch a little bit closer to midfield, we'll be good. Here we go, though. 3rd and 3. Both of those routes running into each other. And I've trusted halfback direct as a snap. It's not worked. We don't even have the numbers here, but I'm going to trust Alexander Bean, who just fumbled it. That was bad. I'm going to be honest. We aren't playing well in this game. Though we can lurk them with Antonio Patterson. Oh, we're going to stun on him for a little bit before we just make sure that we can finish off this interception return for a touchdown. I am so glad that of all the players that transferred, the senior decided to stay here. I will say, though, I still think their offense is going to be a challenge to stop. They've just pulled out some RPOs versus me. There's a perfect example right there, and RPOs are a weakness. I play a lot of zone coverage, so we normally just don't have the numbers there. I do like how our defensive line has been performing, though. We get the sack. Come on, give us that. Jordan Thomas apparently knocked that ball loose, or at least was a part in the recovery. He did something there. So once again, one of our most important players. I've been wanting to try out this halfback screen for a little bit now. It's been run against me. It was a pick? You know, I probably shouldn't have thrown that there, but I wasn't expecting him to play it that well. I thought we'd at least get loose eventually. How about we don't include the fact that 2 seconds ago I was saying how excited I was to use that play? Because I'm not excited. I'm actually just really annoyed now. They're going to be on a 3rd and 13. I think we'll be able to stop them, especially with a shed like that. I'm going to be honest, I was sitting there texting, so we're going to take a flag. I didn't realize the time was winding down, and that might end up costing us some real life consequences. The worst part is if they do end up stopping us and calling timeouts, they're going to get it back at midfield. I think that's why I've kind of just decided we're going to run off clock here. I don't want to put Alexander Bean in a tough situation. I was going to have him immediately roll out and then scramble, though we need to get out of bounds. But here's the thing. Someone else somehow got open there. I would have thrown it. I just don't love that we're going to have to hit carry and hope that he can outrun this kid. We're in field goal range. I was not expecting to get this far. Our offense is normally not this explosive. Hold up, though. We might have to run that play back real quick. See what they give us. It's zone coverage, and that should have been intercepted. Why I believe that I could fit that ball into that window, the world will probably always wonder, should we go for it on the final play? It's going to be 3 yards. I don't know if I trust our offensive line to run it here, but I just think it is worth it. That's why I'm doing it. Running back, open, come on, come on. How many times are we going to get stopped short of the goal line and it's going to hurt us? This is how the start to last season felt as well. We had nothing go our way, and then for a while, we dominated. That RPO really opened up their defense there, though. We got a lane on this one. Finally. I just haven't seen them this season. I want to know if it's because our tight end can't block, because that might be part of it. Last year, Dallas Payne was a very solid blocker. I was trying to throw that ball too. It's 4 down territory, so it's not the end of the world. We're going for this either way. But now that we've continued to get new sets of downs, I think I want to mix in this halfback screen one more time. Yeah, why is it so good against me? I might need to wait for the blockers a little bit longer. 3rd and 4, direct snap. Up the middle. You can't go wrong with it. This might be one of my favorite formations in this game so far. No one has taken away the screen pass. Oh, I actually really like that, though. Did you see that? I threw it away, but because it was a screen pass and I hit throwaway, we threw it at the ground, so there was no penalty. That's a detail that really matters, so I appreciate it. I'm honestly just thinking about a high ball right here, and we're just going to see what we can do with Warren. Come on, go up for it. That's good, D. I've passed up on too many field goals at this point. I'm just going to hit it. I mean, until they start scoring on us, we have no reason to chase points. In fact, I like our chances of getting them off the field on 3rd and 1, but we are not going to hit them in time. Zone coverage, pass coverage, those are all stats that we're going to work on improving as these guys develop. I mean, I told you all, I don't necessarily care that much about player overalls. It's all about who fits our scheme the best. Here we go, 3rd and inches. We got a blitz coming in, and we get the stop. That is very, very big. I'm hoping that they don't get to this ball in time. Perfect. I think what happened last year against FAU as well is we had a lead going into the fourth quarter, and then we just had a meltdown. We need to avoid that this year. They have just not been able to run the ball. I need to get my confidence up with us running the ball too. Breaking the tackle. Look at that. I mean, we shouldn't have gotten that free. Maybe I should lean on Anthony Carey a little bit more. Those are the plays that are going to build up my confidence with him. No. See, what do I do about that? Like, should I have thrown that ball? Maybe not. I was past leading to the sideline. But just like that, they're back in the game. I guarantee they're going to come back and beat me. You know, in real time, it looked like he just glitched straight to it. But he honestly, especially as I'm slowing it down, he just made a play on the ball and he was there. It is really hard for me to accept that without our 80+ speed tight ends that we had all of last year, those drags are just not going to be there. I wish I had an RPO option here as well. We had a direct snap, which should get us the first. But you all saw how open our tight end was. I actually think we might have him on the seam here, depending on where that safety plays. Great throw. I'm starting to get a decent feel for this spread formation. We're going to hit him with a little halfback screen, which they are all over. I don't even think I can be upset. They just sniffed it out really well. Third down, it's such an inaccurate throw, but it's like an arm punt that is going to go as far as if we would have punted it. We've had way too many turnovers in this game, though. We don't deserve to win it at all. They did not deserve that catch. What did I say about them being able to come back and beat us, though? I knew this would happen. This is the first time in this game as well that I've noticed our zones are flipping on defense. It's always in these big situations. I mean, surely that cannot be an intended feature. That just wouldn't make any sense. Here we go. 2nd and 9. Lots of guys open. I don't know why we were dropped back that far. And we got some man coverage out there, but we're shooting the gap with Antonio Patterson. I really feel strongly about pressing in these situations. He's open. And I just didn't get there. It is honestly so quiet in this stadium as well. Like, all of these fans are so nervous about how this one's going to end. You could 100% hear a pen drop. He tested me, and I gave it up. That's on me. It's just like I make these mistakes, and then other things happen, and then we collapse. We only need a field goal, though. So we're going to keep that in mind. We're going to run a little quarterback draw to open up this drive. Not a great start, to be honest. We'll see how much time we get back there in the pocket. I figured we'd probably get some man-to-man coverage. And what do I do about these throws, dude? I just realized they're in field goal range. I can't punt this ball. We have to go for it on 4th down. I'm going to have Carey on a little option route just in case our tight end doesn't get open. He catches it. And I probably should have used a timeout here. I mean, I'm honestly just really panicking at this point. We'll get a few more yards. I don't know why, but I'm feeling a quarterback draw. And we literally break off of a tackle. That's fine. That's fine. If we can just get like man-to-man coverage, or maybe we get an aggressive catch situation with our tight end, I think we're going to be good. That is unfortunately as close as we're going to get. They have already called a timeout to try and ice me. This is the game right here. I'm going to go quiet. I'm going to lock in. We're going to focus in. We're going to focus in. And it's going to be just left. I can't do this, man. I cannot lose another overtime game. How am I supposed to rebuild this program into a championship contender if we can't even beat FAU? Now, I did not hit my run at all there. That was one of the worst reads I've ever seen in my life, but I am shaking. This is stressful. 3rd and inches. We keep it, and I'm going to fumble. I just have zero confidence at the moment. I hate how slow our tight ends are. I don't think you understand. That was my read last season. It's out of reach. This is 4-down territory, though. It is not the end of the world. We're going to playmaker, and we're going to hope that we can just bring that ball in. You could not make up some of the stuff that happens in these games. Like, I'm sure it's great for entertainment, great for content, but I am so stressed. No! It was in his hands. It was in his hands. Okay, 3rd and goal. 3rd and goal. Lock in. We're going to roll out. Do we have the speed? No, we're going to have to throw this. We're throwing it up. Come on. Come on. I honestly just hiked everything during that drive out of quick hikes. I was panicking. Coach suggestions. I feel a lot more comfortable now. We're on the side of the ball that I like to be on, but we didn't get to him. Like, come on. I thought we had a sack there. He's going to immediately throw it short. It's going to be 3rd and 3. That was a good play from them. I think they're just going to hand it off, which they do. And there we go. There we go. This is it, boys. First win of the season. They throw it. Why do our zones not play underneath? Like, what's the point of telling them to play underneath and then pressing if they just don't play there? I can't even be upset either. That was such a good throw. I really do not know what to do. Screen pass, we're immediately getting off the block. I'm also watching this whole area underneath since they love to throw it. We have a hard flat out there. I trust him. I trust him. We're just going to have to really lurk this whole middle of the field on 3rd and 6. and we gave it up. I'm telling you, dude, the computer just turns into like Superman at the end of these games. Every read is Tom Brady in the flesh. They're all trying to run. And here we go. 3rd and goal. Do they actually have that? It's just like they're literally not going to make a mistake. I'm sending everybody. They throw it. They're short. Okay, a touchdown, a 2-point conversion. That's all it's going to take to win this game. First play. Immediate rollout. We're going for the scrambles. I don't care how tired Alexander is. They're even backing up. I think they expect us to score a touchdown on this drive, which is why we're going to take it right here. I feel like it'd be kind of crazy to run it back, but I like the blocking. We're going to run the same play twice. And there's the cutback. There's the cutback. We are not choking against FAU. Well, we did choke. We did choke. But at the end of the day, we have finally taken down the Owls. What a moment. Antonio Patterson, I forgot about that pick 6. It was so long ago. I've not felt this way about a dynasty or any rebuild I've done in so long. I am invested in this team. We are building it from the ground up, but we do have an issue. The gym running back that I want, he thinks our playing style, especially when running the ball, isn't good enough. I was putting 50 hours a week into him, so we're going to have to take that off and put it elsewhere. With this type of hard sell, though, we might actually be able to sign this 4-star defensive tackle. We'll have him come against Sam Houston. Before we face off against them, though, we get to play Louisiana Tech on the road, who's just a 61 overall. Now, one thing I wish I did a little bit more was I looked into these teams a bit in the last episode, because we could look at their schedule. We can see that they lost to Florida, and then Southern Miss obliterated them. But more importantly, what are we facing off against? This roster doesn't impress me. They have a quarterback that's a 73. It's Cutter Boley from Kentucky. I wish him the best, just not in this matchup, because if we don't get off to a good start in Conference USA play, we're going to have a long season. Right off the bat, they're literally coming out in 5 wide, which is fine. We have 2 very talented safeties, which is what makes cover 2 so awesome for us this year. I also feel like we definitely knocked that ball loose. They can't run for a first down on 3rd and 16. And starting this drive at about midfield is a great spot to be in. Jackson Warren's getting a little bit of glaze because he's been a bit more useful for us recently. But I almost feel like whenever we're running the ball, like right here, we need him not out there on the field because half the time he doesn't hold his block. Could this be a team that we actually run for a lot of yards against, though, and then get back into the running for that running back? That's what I'm feeling. We're going to test that corner over on the left side. If he's not there, we're going to be patient and just drop it. 4 down territory already. I don't know what was up with that. We got a direct snap over to Carey, and I shouldn't have been going for a big play. I just need to take the yards there, move the chains. I'm going to be honest, though. They feel so bad offensively that it might not matter. Like, it's already another 3rd and 10. We could hold them to a second 3 and out. What are we going to do with this kick return, though? We're going to spin and then spin again. Maybe we need to give our running back some more room to just build up his speed. You see that right there? Jackson Warren just isn't blocking in the run game. His blocking stats are too low, so I might actually start going over to formation subs. I know that we have a tight end that can block really well because I made sure of it. We just haven't had him out there on the field. Also, maybe our offense has just been way too one-dimensional. We've only focused in on a couple players. Our receivers have been ignored. Like, I'm not going to blame JoJo Stone whenever he wants to transfer out at the end of the year. Here's this spread, though, that I really like. We watch where that safety plays. He has it covered. I'm just going to take our check down and see if we can break it. For getting this far down the field, I would really hope that we don't get held. But it's a 4th and 1. Our offensive line hangs in there. That's good. I'm curious, though. What could we do out of the passing game? Could we get closer? We can. That's all we need to finish this one off with Alexander Bean. We're going straight up that middle. Hold your blocks or let the defensive tackle shed. Playing the numbers game on 3rd and goal. They're not watching the bubble, so we'll take it. It really feels like we are just the superior team in this matchup. I don't know if there's any other way to put it. Like, they have had no chance of success. The game is far from being put away, though, which is what worries me. I just don't believe that they would throw this. They're testing us. 3rd and 17. Make the play. Make the play. That is a freshman, by the way, with just some lockdown clamps. Getting to the outside. Hang on. We might have our first kick return of the series. No. It was so close. I think it was Tyson Carter that was on that, by the way. He's going to get this catch. Unfortunately, no matter how much we use him, he's not going to get much better for us. He has bad skill caps. Then for the rest of our receivers, I said it at the beginning of this video. We're just going to most likely lose a lot of them to the transfer portal, so I don't want to get excited. Do you know how upsetting it would be to really hype up a guy and then all of a sudden he transfers? That was an unfortunate loss to have there as well. But Carey feels so open. I just don't know if I can actually throw this. We can't. There we go, 14-0. Are they going to get a first down? They do. Congratulations. I've been feeling like Iowa football with this defense, though. It's been a lot of fun. Evidently, we did too much, though, because now they're starting to come alive. I think they realize that if they don't figure things out, that's such a penalty. Oh my gosh. This ref has to be blind. This is one of the craziest things I think I've ever seen. We moved him back 5 yards. If that happened to me in an online game, I don't even know how to describe how I'd feel. Once we went back to Tampa 2, though, instead of cover 3, we just locked them down. There was nothing that they could do. Can we actually get out of here now? Maybe if he had a good spin move, we might need to consider that for putting someone else back there at returner. I don't know where to go here. There might have been a hole on 2nd and 9. I just planned on hitting Sterling Joseph quickly. See, here's the thing. We end this half up 17-0, and I don't know what they're going to be able to do to come back against us. That's really all that I'm looking for. Good little hole right here, waiting for the other block. Anthony Carey's definitely been getting a bulk majority of the carries versus Sterling Joseph. He's not been out there much. We might need to adjust that along with some position changes. What? I want you to know this was supposed to be a halfback draw, and our center literally just didn't snap the ball the right way. I did not know your center, if they're not a high enough overall, could sell you like that in this game. That's actually terrifying to figure out. But we're going to find JoJo Stone. You know, that poor kid has gotten like 0 opportunities here. And thank goodness we got that ball in there before the defenders dropped there, because I'm not reading the comments about how bad I am at reading a defense. I don't want to see it. If the quarterback direct snap doesn't work, maybe it'll work to the halfback. These are just my favorite plays. Maybe not, though, because I feel like recently they've not been working. See, this is the type of stuff that gets us into the situation where, like, we've been to overtime twice already. We almost didn't beat FAU. I just can't believe it's only 14-0. They don't deserve to even be in this game. I really wonder, though, if we would be getting bigger runs with Sterling Joseph. It might not only be about speed. His other stats just don't get me that excited. This is an awful throw. This is not the offense that got us into this spot in the first place. It's about to be 3rd and long where we have to punt. I don't remember the last time I punted, mainly because of this. Wait, that actually went kind of far. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not a good punt, but it's better than some of the other ones we have seen. On 2nd and 7, running back flat isn't there. We could have picked it. I also actually trust Dejan Lee Jr. as well to be manned up one-on-one. That's how good of a corner the freshman is. He's the fastest one that we have on this team with 94 speed. It might even make sense to put him back there on some of these kick returns so we could get some bigger gains. I guess the second half of these matchups, though, is just reserved for Sterling Joseph because now he's out there on the field. I've yet to see Carey come back into the game. 2nd down gets us to a 3rd and 1. On 3rd and 1, this is an interesting spot to be in because if they play off, we can just throw it. And can you imagine if they commit hard to the run here? We would have him over the top. He's right there. Come on, Jackson Warren. Oh, he's so slow. It doesn't matter, though. I mean, we've gotten ourselves into the right position. And there's the numbers game. Look at that. We have Carter on the bubble, assuming that that linebacker doesn't play it. Snap it. Snap it. Or are we not going to snap it? Not this again. Just had to waste a timeout. First time we've run into that this season. But look at that cut. I will take it. Do we trust our goal line play? Last year, we used Hellcat, Jake Hillrich for this. This year, we use Alexander Bean. Go ahead, try and dunk it or lose the ball. Whenever it comes to Louisiana Tech's offense, they better start to figure things out. I just think our defensive backs are too good. I mean, they're making the right read on that RPO, but we get off of our blocks. Wilson's literally just that difficult to run through, and he's gonna have a chance to make another clutch tackle. I think this is the first team that we have just physically, mentally, verbally abused. They got one decent defensive lineman that's been able to keep them in this game. We're going to break that tackle with Burke, though, and get the first. I like it. You're going to need some more size to stop him. Same thing right here. We're going to our massive tight ends. I'm just going to continue to run the ball, and we'll see if we're able to get another touchdown. Never mind. New play discovery. This is the time to try it. Play action. Blocks. It could have worked. This is only year 2. I'm still learning the playbook, finding those plays that are just absolute money for us. JoJo Stone's gone. I think we are safe in this one. I just don't see a world where they're going to be able to come back. We have 7 sacks against them. I mean, they just haven't been able to do like anything. The only time they might be able to actually do something is getting a stop on 3rd down, but we dropped it. That's unfortunate. We'll just hit a field goal. We'll end this one 31-0. The fact that they never scored goes all the way back to how I envisioned us winning some games this year. Now, putting up that many points, I wasn't expecting. Alexander Bean's done well, though. Like, they had 19 total yards of offense. They lost 37 yards rushing, but I think a lot of that comes from our sacks. It is nice to get on the winning side of things, though, because as this raises, less players are going to want to transfer away. We just have to make sure that we keep on doing it. We also have 3 recruiting battles on the line this week because we got 4-star Frank Gee visiting. We got both of these offensive linemen that care about proximity to home. We still haven't done enough with the playing style deal breaker to get back in on this gym yet, but we will. Before any of that, though, I guess it's time to find some of our more run-heavy sets and then put in our blocking tight end. I actually don't love this because for most of these formations, I run and I pass out of them, but we're going to just start with doubles Y off. We're going to use this for runs, and we're going to put Justin Wood in, our pure blocker. While everybody else got upgrades to their receiving during the offseason, I decided that the 1-star should get better at blocking. I mean, his stats aren't anything crazy. But what I will point out is Jackson Warrens can't be any good because there's nowhere for us to even view his blocking stats since he's a receiving tight end. I guess we could from this screen though. Yeah, he's got 68 run blocking. It might not be that much of a difference to have him out there now that I really look into it. Yeah, Justin Woods is a 68 run block, so there's no point to it. We need to progress him more at blocking first. I'm not forgetting about the punt return thing though. Let's go ahead and let's make sure that our 94 speed corner is out there. Dijon Lee Jr. I don't think you all understand how good he's going to be. I mean, he's 6'4", 6'4" on a cornerback with 94 speed. His coverage is already maxed out. He can get a little bit quicker, but he also has some of these abilities that we can start to work on. I don't think he'd ever be so dominant either that he'd leave FIU, but he's going to be good enough to where going up against Conference USA receivers, he can put them in a box. I'm feeling pretty confident going into this one. Sam Houston's currently 0-5. We just came off of a massive win where we won everything. But apparently, we have lost a lot of our fan base. All those fans that were there at the very start of the year, they saw us start off with those 2 losses, and they're not here anymore. It's okay, though. Once they realize Alexander Bean, the freshman's a beast, they'll be back. I feel like the interceptions have definitely been down from last season. We'll take 15. And can you imagine if I just had no respect and I just came out and really started airing it out? Wait. No shot. He stays on his feet after all of that. We have to go for a highlight play. I really couldn't risk him getting hit there, though. We had to slide down even after that juke, unfortunately. Let's see what this blocking's looking like, though, with our blocking tight end out there on the field. He held that guy for long enough. Just wasn't necessarily a great play. And now we're going to catch this one with Clausen. There we go. The freshman's made a little bit of a difference out of the slot so far for us. Halfback screen, get another 10, 15 yards on Sam Houston. And if we could just go straight to the outside, hang in there, pick up all those blocks, yeah, we're getting more. As bad as our offensive line looked in some of those first games, even against Kent State, which is a little bit weird, I think now that we've gotten to the point where we're facing teams like Sam Houston, it just shows we have the best one in the conference. And that's a good grab. If you're going to isolate our best receiver, the more comfortable I'm getting as the year goes on, just like last year where I start to play better, the more balls and looks that he's going to get because he's basically just been ignored. Do we really think this freshman quarterback's going to dot us up throughout this game either? I don't believe he will. Little handoff. We're in the gap. Yeah, he's in trouble. It really does depend, though, on what type of guy they have at OC and head coach. Like I said earlier, shout out to CJ Gardner-Johnson. He figured out and told me the adaptive AI setting makes a big difference. If you go to edit coach, you can see it in the coach settings. There's like 10 different ways that coaches can call games. Look at this speed, by the way, from Carey. Anyway, though, it just means that their play calling variety switches up a lot. And there's no shot. It's already going to be 14-0. Come on, give me that touchdown. I reached out. Passing touchdowns for Alexander Bean. That is what he deserves. It is already looking like this one could legitimately be over before it even gets to the end of the first quarter. We still got Carter back there on these punt returns, though, probably because our cornerback number 2 is tired by the end of a drive. At some point, you have to expect that they're going to show a little bit of life, but it just hasn't happened yet. And he picked up that block. So Devon can continue to go, spins out 2 defenders, and it's 21-0 with a minute left in the first quarter, man. Justin Devon is only a sophomore. I still think he'll transfer at the end of this season. I guess we'll end up seeing it's just a box, man. In fact, I am so confident at the moment. What we might just do is start slinging this rock, which is something I've not done. Like, really let Alexander Bean start to get some reps and make a difference. I don't want to jinx it or anything, but I'm like 99% sure this game's already over. Like, Sam Houston is currently getting embarrassed. I think you all can see a little bit with some of these missed passes why Alexander Bean doesn't throw it that much. But then again, we're up 28-0. I'll catch y'all at the end. Maybe not, though. We never know. Could they come back? They've driven down the field. I'm still not that worried, though we are going to need to get back for some of these interceptions. And we're going to go for 35 points in this first half. We might as well. Oh my gosh. Extender's the best ability in this game. That is what keeps on triggering. That is why I'm able to avoid all of these wild sacks. But sometimes this receiving core just isn't there. We better not miss this kick because that would open up the door for them to get back into it. It's a flag. They shouldn't have hit me. You went for the block. Now we're going to be able to throw up a ball to Jackson Warren or hit some of our receivers in stride and make this game 35-7. It's just over for them. It really is. I don't know what else they could do. Maybe get better. I mean, that's not always the worst idea in the world. We hang on. He's across. What a beautiful way for us to get another win as well. I mean, there you go. You're not getting the first down. It's just wild to me. I know that we've gotten better, but I wasn't expecting that we got this much better. I've continued to run the ball, do some jet touch passes. Here, we're going to have a hole, and we're just gone to the crib again. We're gone again. There is no other way to describe how insane this win feels besides just showing you, like, look at the stats from Alexander Bean. We even set some records, like Alexander Bean set the Florida International single game passing touchdowns record in this game. And apparently, he's not the first player to get into the record book either. I forgot that Alex Perry had 200 receiving yards, setting a record there. We also have a season record that popped up. I accidentally skipped over it, but take a wild guess who it is. Jordan Thomas for sacks in a year with 13 halfway through it. He's going crazy. Commits are starting to come in. And I'm assuming it's going to make Frank Gee want to come here in a week. He's from Florida. That makes sense. But we still can't go after Terrell Doucette. As we look out at the rest of our schedule too, we're not going to have any more breaks. Oklahoma was ranked at one point. They're actually struggling this year, which is good news. I'm not seeing many really tough matchups on it at all. Like, everybody in our conference is just kind of stinky besides Liberty, but we wouldn't meet them until the conference championship game. We blew them out last year. There's still a lot of time before we have to worry about anything like that, and we'll see if we can keep up this run against the Miners. We're honestly so hot at the moment that unless we get an injury or something, we should. Pitbull has to be pretty happy about the direction that the team is currently going in. Good little spin, but that doesn't worry us. They're running a jet touch pass, actually faked me out. Threw over my head. I can't believe I just saw the name that I saw either. Malachi Nelson is at UTEP now? He was like a 5-star recruit, one of the best in the country. He's been all over the place. We have eventually been able to get them to a 3rd and 5. But I wanted the pick with transfer Brady Hubbard right there. I mean, we'll take getting the ball back. I wanted 6. I don't necessarily love that route from Stone on an RPO, which is why I don't normally call this play. But I wanted to see if it could get open, and on 2nd and 12, we get it back. This is a big 3rd and 7, though. They're going to send in pressure, so we're going to take our comeback route and catch it. Justin Devon doing what he needs to. We faked him out. We have run the ball so much this year that I just go away from play action when I don't need to. I still think we need to watch out for this offense, though. They've had so many big plays already. I will not feel comfortable in any of these games until we're up by like 28. I would like to make it the expectation, though, that we just dominate, especially if we ever want to get a conference invite to a more challenging conference that can really raise our school prestige. There's so much conference realignment stuff happening at all times. Even the MAC wants to break apart now, which makes me so sad. What was that? He like did a spin move, then threw his hand out to smack someone. We're getting the sack, though. We're getting the sack. This team is just insane. It really is. Like, how can you expect them to compete in a matchup like this? We can get back to that ball as well. If I knew Jeremiah Wilson was going to drop so many balls, though, I would have upgraded his catching. That might be more important for us to hone in on than I would have ever thought. Despite that strong start, too, we cannot get complacent because it's 3rd and 13. Like, I'm most likely going to be punting here unless we just absolutely torch their cover 3 where we don't turn around in time. I don't love this. We'll see how strong of a leg we got. I mean, to go to the 40, I guess we'll have to take it, especially with a bounce. What was up with those earlier games? I just don't understand why for those first couple games, even if we wanted to, we could not kick it more than 10 yards. You've got to feel bad at some point, though, for UTEP. I mean, they're even missing throws. Like, our defensive line is eating them alive. I'm going to continue to send 4 people at them. That's what's worked. It's a shame that we're never going to get our star corner out there on these punt returns either. He's just too tired. Now that we know that we can punt it like 30 or so yards, though, that is very helpful. They got a quarterback spy. And what are we doing? This isn't our identity. Let's hand this football off and let's go to work. I don't think I've pulled this play out in a few weeks. Little quarterback draw that they're all over. Definitely not ideal. I was stuck I couldn't get over to that ball even though I was on the person to do it. It is all good, though. They hand it off to the outside. Davis gets there. You're going nowhere. We haven't really focused in on Preston Davis. He's another one of our newer starters. We just have so much talent that got replaced. And I just feel like of all the guys, he wasn't that important to mention. Where are you going? We have a defense at the moment that is locking up. We're going to try and get around a couple of those guys. And I really want to take just one shot down the field right before the 2-minute warning because they're probably not expecting it. This is what happens when I throw the ball, though. I don't know why. I don't know why we choose to do these things that we do. It's not worth it. It's never worth it. It's fine. We're locked. They're not going to get into the end zone anyway. We're simply just too good. This might be an eye-opener for us. I'm feeling way too confident for a team that should not be. Alexander Bean's had his moments. We're going to see if he can have another moment here. Just trying to get it by the safety. Though that defensive back broke on it. I do like how much of a cannon he's got on him, though. As long as we can develop that accuracy, he's going to be a beast. I mean, the skill caps on his accuracy do kind of stink, but we don't need them to be crazy. We just need them to be high enough for him to consistently make solid throws. I really don't like that read, though. On 3rd down, they're backed up, so we're going to go underneath. And we have to attempt a 56-yarder to end the half. I don't think I put enough power on that, did I? I did. All right, that was definitely a little bit of a wake-up call. It's been a couple of weeks since we have felt the pressure like that, but we're still dominating a little bit. See, I'm pretty confident that if I just honed in on running the ball, we're going to go all the way down the field. The stuff that worked for us last week, it should still be able to work in this game. That even includes the infamous jet touch pass. It's when we get into these situations, though, and I decide that I'm going to throw the rock where I really think we run into our problems. That pocket was collapsing. I can't snap the ball. You've got to be kidding. I'm sure hoping we don't need that timeout later. I'm just throwing it over to our tight end. He holds onto it. He holds onto it. I apologize for ever putting any disrespect on Jackson Warren's name. He does have a 50-50 ability. It's actually kind of dumb that I haven't been using it more, just since that's one of my favorite abilities to throw to in this game. Are we going to be able to run it to the long side of the field, though? We are. We get it out with Carey, make a couple guys miss, and go down. I'm starting to get a better feel for Anthony Carey as well. He just doesn't run the same as KJ Owens. We might escape here, or we're in trouble. We're in trouble. That's got to be quicker decision making. We're going to space them out, and it looks like they're going to go with the spy. I don't really like this throw, especially since we deflected it into his hands. We swatted it into that guy's hands. That unfortunately just wasn't it. We should have had that. It's all good though. 3rd and 9, low play action. It even got me to bite. I am spamming triangle. This is just one of those games that we find a way to lose. I know it. Whenever it comes to stopping a lot of these players, though, there has been a noticeable difference whenever it comes to guys in Conference USA versus some of the earlier ones we played. Like, it might just be because it was my first game, but I'm starting to think like even Kent State would be pretty solid in Conference USA. I don't know, though. We have been playing some of the smaller schools. We get the stop. And for all we know, one of these schools is just going to come out and drop like 40 on our head. I'm not sure how much I trust our receivers to block here. I had a feeling that might happen. It is 3rd and 13, but I threw that way too high. If I put more power on it, we have it. I just can't believe that they're going to get us off of the field again. Wait, who's the penalty against? I think I bumped him and I didn't get away with it. That's going to help them a ton. Them starting on the 27, though, is crazy. They're going to be able to scramble, and this is probably a loss. I don't know, it just hit me. Our only successful play has been off of that play action. Outside of that, as much as we've been struggling, they have been as well, and that's a type of read that hurts. We can't get too excited yet, though. As much as I want to be, I might throw it right back to him. It's just not been a good day for us. There we go. Almost no yards, and once again, guess what? I had to call a timeout. Now it's 2nd and 9. We didn't get that guy picked up. And we'll see what we have on 3rd and 5. Our tight end isn't really there, but we're going to have JoJo Stone coming across the field. We just had to be patient. It is so weird to be coming off of a record-setting game with Alexander Bean and then just to be playing as poorly as we have so far. But I really liked that play there. We're going to be patient, wait for our blockers on this one, and we get another 10. I don't know if we're going to be able to run out the rest of the clock. It will really depend when they start calling timeouts, which is something I'm expecting after this play. But one more first down without a touchdown, and we're chilling. We could run out the rest of the clock, kick that game-winning field goal, and escape with our 4th win of the year. But we have to pick this up first. We're going to wait till we hit sprint, and then be short. I don't trust kicking from the hash mark either. I hate that I'm going for this here, but we are. we get enough. This was definitely a stressful game, but at the end of the day, 13-10, it's over. FIU is picking up their 4th straight win, and this one's coming against a 1-4 team. So yeah, let's just get past all of it. And going back to 4-star defensive tackle Frank Gee, Miami was able to make a huge jump on us, so this could turn into a recruiting battle that we can't close. I have found a few more athletes though that I haven't had enough hours to scout, but I do believe will be pretty good for us. This thumper, I've heard that athlete thumpers are really good as users. They're pretty quick, so we're gonna go after him. And then I just have to start finding other running backs to target. All 3 of these guys should stick around next season, but this isn't enough for a running back room. We can't just have 3 players on the roster, and don't let Kennesaw State's overall fool you. We cannot underestimate them. They're currently undefeated in conference play. Now, if you can't tell, I really like these baby blue pants. I'm not sure if they go with these jerseys, but we're gonna rock it anyway. Last second low RPO fake outs have been absolute money. I really like this bubble pop too, because either you hit the tight end up the seam or you go to the outside. I mean, this might just be my favorite play in the game. Sometimes you can just cut up field as well. But Anthony Carey's already getting sent to the sideline, which isn't good. The more RPOs that I run, though, the more that I realize those are the best way for me to move the ball. I went away from it, and now we find ourselves on a 3rd and 9, where I don't think I can place that above his head. Due to having a kicker with a really strong leg, though, we can definitely hit from here. I mean, that couldn't have been more perfect. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. It's not perfect. You know, I thought that was a guarantee it was going to go in. Normally from 55 it is. Maybe the rain affected it. It slowed down the trajectory of the ball, and now we're facing a tough QB. It just said that he passed for almost 400 yards last week. But here's the thing. I don't know whose sorry defense that was against. It sure was not ours, as we're already forcing a 3 now. If they're going to do something against us, they're going to have to get a little bit more creative. We got a little bit of a tight end screen where we got 6. But it just didn't work out the exact way that I wanted it to, and they're all over this. We very well might be getting held to a 3 and out right back. If we can get this past that linebacker, we wouldn't. But unfortunately, not the case at all. I think it's punts in the rain that are so short. I don't know. Is this a bug or something? Is it just me? Is it just my punter? I assumed his kicks were that bad because it's a kicker playing punter. We're going to have to make an open field tackle. We're locked, boys. They're spreading us out. They're spacing us out. They're going to try and go up the middle here. But are we ready for it? Yes, we are. That's a great defensive play. I really think in using the portal, we have already outclassed a lot of teams in our conference. We signed so many impact players that they can't score. The issue, though, is our 3 best are going to graduate. Some of the other ones might end up transferring. And they're all on defense, so I would love to get some really great players on the offensive side of the ball, too. You know, if Anthony Carey's going to be that injured, it's probably best if he's just not in the game in the first place. Look at that catch from Stone, though. You have to be able to locate the ball in the air, and you can make some really good catches this year. Place it where you want it, then you put your receiver there. It's all good. I don't even think it matters what the meter is. I say all of that after having 2 incomplete passes as I'm saying it, though we're going to hit our running back off our back foot, and he almost lost that ball. Normally, I would just chase points. It's a 4th and 1. They'd be in bad territory, but we're going to take our 3. That should show. I'm respecting Kennesaw State. And I'm starting to wonder, could we just run man-to-man coverage? I feel like we got good enough on that front where we probably could. We'll see. If we end up getting gashed for a touchdown or something, giving up passes like this, I'm just not sure it's worth it. And right here, they got separation, not in time. It's really hard for me to say whether or not it's actually paying off for us. I see a wide open receiver that they're probably winding up to hit. And that's why we play zone. This defense has literally let them go all the way down the field, and now they're at the 10-yard line. That was not fun. Again, we're getting gashed. And it's going to be time to figure out how we're going to respond to that. They got off the block. That right there is exactly why you don't accelerate until you've been able to hit a hole in stride like this. It just causes your guys to disengage so much faster. They blew up our RPO. They've been scouting. I cannot punt it in the rain, though. We saw the last one go like 5 yards. That was such a deep drag. That almost did not work. We're going to take our slant off of the RPO. And if this is man-to-man coverage, I might just take Joseph, but they're getting in the blitzer. It's okay. I think we'll be able to find either our drag or our tight end here. We're just going to have to make a possession catch. You cannot risk dropping that football there. Our post would be there for a split second. And honestly, this might work as well. I just think it's going to be a little bit too far. See, we start to let Alexander Bean throw the ball a little bit, and everything just seems to go downhill. Come on. That was such a nasty route there. This is 4 down territory, so we are just going to stiff arm our way into a fumble. He was running like a madman there, and he is celebrating through his guy's head. He is playing with his head. I personally would not let one of my boys do that to me. All right. You can't be getting a 15-yard run. Guys, I'm starting to become a little bit terrified. This is a hard offense to stop. The veer and shoot is difficult. I don't think our typical coverage is really panning out. They're spacing our zone so much. On 3rd and 7, they just slipped off of it, probably because he is wet. And they are continuing to go back to running the football. I don't know if it's just because I haven't played with sound much until recently or what, but that hit, and even that hit right there, you just feel it. You hear it. It makes me happy. They could not possibly have just handed it off again. I'll take it. Satisfying stop there, though we are trailing by 10. Our offense has been the problem. Alexander Bean simply not having as good of a day. We're going to have to go for some deeper throws down the field. I actually think we might be able to hit this unless their safety gets back to it. And I just realized that because we can't punt the ball very far, we have set them up, if they didn't stop us here, to get another field goal. Now everything is fine. There's not too much that they can do, but we are going to have to get this ball out before they get a sack. And I don't know where I want to send this next one. If we can hit the seam, we're going to be gone with Tyson Carter. Okay, how do you spike the ball? This is a major problem. I don't know how to spike the ball. We're going to have to literally get up to the line, throw this away. Hike it. Hike it. 3, 2. I'm not going to be able to get the throw off in time. This is the final play of the half. Chuck it up. Chuck it up. That's so unfortunate. You would think I'd know how to spike the ball to hurry up. I'm going to have to look that up because I don't. That blows my mind, actually, that I have no idea what I'm doing. I have played this game too much. It's literally going to end up costing us 3 points and potentially this game, all because we didn't get a field goal there. It would definitely help if Tyson Carter was faster, though. That play action just got, I think, literally everybody. Being in that double mug too hasn't really worked against the veer and shoot. I mean, they are dotting us up. This is awful. Kennesaw State might be the team to beat inside our conference every year. On 2nd and 5, I'm trying to get in there, and he keeps it. He keeps it. We can't even make the tackle. This is bad. All of these fans that are starting to have faith in us have come out to this game, and now they look so disappointed. We're about to be facing Oklahoma as well, so it's not like things are going to get any better for us. What a filthy move from Alexander, though. Dude, he dusted that guy. I wish he crop dusted him on his way out of there, too. That move alone got me wanting to put my jersey back on. I want to rep FIU. We're going to make a quick little read to the outside. Kurt Benkert would be proud. And let's do it again. So my first read, JoJo Stone. Second read, Devon. Third read, Joseph. Does this work? You know what? Pre-planning like 3 different reads actually seems to go pretty well. We could even run an RPO with that specific route in this playbook, and we're dusting them. Never mind. Next time, I'm just going to hand it off over and over and shut up. We're going to take our yards. And I've noticed something about the jet touch passes. One of the reasons they don't always work as well is we don't necessarily get that outside leverage every time, but our block actually held up in this spot. I'm starting to learn a lot more. Like, the blocking sometimes is better than you would think. It's just your fault, or you end up getting unlucky. Like, I think I complained my entire Road to Glory series about the pocket, and then I went back and I watched it, and I was literally running backwards like 15 feet or 15 yards, whatever. Like, there was nowhere for the pocket to be. I took myself out of the pocket. We're on a 2nd and goal. I think that's the hardest habit of all of them for me to break because I'm just used to running far backwards until I get a throw out. Back to defense, though. What formation, what look is it going to take to stop all of their running? I mean, we have enough guys on the line here. We're actually going to get in pressure, but Jordan Thomas got hurt there on 3rd and 10. Someone else got the sack. I hope Jordan Thomas isn't out for too long, that he's able to come back later in this game because we're going to need it. I got to recreate what works so well to get us down the field, though. I mean, that last drive was beautiful. Apparently, that ball's pretty easy to knock out. We had the hole there. I started accelerating too soon, though. 3rd down, hit our drag. JoJo Stone coming up clutch. He's got 117 receiving yards. I don't think he's ever played this well for us. We're also immediately looking in his direction. He wasn't there. They dropped back, so we'll take our check down. I really don't think we're in as bad of a spot as it was starting to seem like, being down 20-3. But Sterling Joseph is having a stinker. I think he's averaging like 2 yards per carry in this one. Cut it back, get closer to the marker. We haven't pulled out a quarterback blast in this game yet, but the look isn't necessarily there unless everybody just picks up a man. We'll take it. This is the real test. Is this play ever going to be viable for us? I want it to be so bad. We hit it, and I might have thrown it late. I guess I don't know how to run that one. If we get man-to-man coverage, JoJo Stone's not really there. We're just going to try and take off with our legs. Get out of my way. We're in. That is what we needed. Plus, I think this is a much better way for us to line up for some of their veer and shoot formations. He's able to scramble, force a fumble. I don't know what to do about this, actually. Can we flip it? All right, we're flipped. We just had to audible something else real quick. 5 minutes left in this game. I need to get a quarterback spy back out there on the field. Before they run it, I ran commit. I ran commit. You all saw what went through my mind before the play. and they're just getting like 20, 25 yards. We man up that guy over on the left side. We come on down. They hit us with a play action, and he's so open underneath. It's okay. Inevitably, they're going to keep moving the ball down the field. What we have to do is either force an interception or hold them to a field goal. But no, our 92 overall corner just got mossed. Teo Johnson was able to blow that up, but they get the throw out. And down by 10 with 3 minutes left, although I don't love it, I think we need to resort to throwing the ball quite a bit. I mean, if we can, we might as well run some RPOs while we're at it, get out of bounds here. But a lot of these plays do need to be some deeper shots down the field. And if we can fit that into that area, that's a great catch. The biggest issue with Alexander Bean at the moment, though, is after that, he had 2 incompletions back-to-back just off of inaccurate balls. So you know during the offseason, I think it's just going to have to be accuracy that's priority. I don't know if this is there, but we're taking it. I want to get off one more play before the 2-minute warning. We're going to. The running lanes aren't really there, but I believe a 6v5, assuming our blocks can be half decent, are going to lead to a touchdown. Now, I am going to try and go for the onside kick just in case we got lucky. We didn't, but I thought it was worth the shot with how hard the rain's been coming down, and I just clicked onto the wrong player. We forced a fumble. Ball's out. Ball's out. No! Wait, we have it. He's up. We got it. I don't know how that was the one kid that got his hands on the ball, but we've been bailed. It is not over. We have 2 minutes to move the ball down the field. We don't even need to throw it necessarily. We can get 20 on the ground. Let's make them respect the run for a couple more minutes before we do anything else. Maybe not, though. We actually have them spaced out here. I would love if this is cover 1 for us to go deep. It's cover 3, though. So we're just going to go underneath, and we're going to come closer. I'm not sure how good our right guard is here, but assuming he can make a good block pull like that, I love a quick base. And this PA dig, we scored a huge touchdown off of at one point. It's not necessarily there, but wait, why did you stop your route? We still catch it. We had positioning. That's a very important thing on this game. All I had to do was aggressive catch after that. I don't know why we took a step back, but that was filthy right there. I have never seen this move before. He dropped back like he was throwing the ball. Was that what the play started with? Okay, past that little weird animation, watch this. He just, that right there, that's what got me. I don't know how I did it. I need to learn how to recreate that. He made every defender look like an idiot. They got confused. They got stuck. And we can run the football because no one is on this side of the field. This is why you don't give up, because the comeback is complete. The win is not complete. We don't want to get too excited yet. He might dot us for like an 80-yard aggressive catch touchdown, or they get out of there. I mean, that was terrifying. He was 1 tackle away from going free. What we're going to do is just drop back in coverage like this, though. Look at that 6'4" corner. I know they wanted to test a freshman, but if you're going to test any of our corners, it does not need to be Dijon Lee Jr. He's 6'4". He's not going to win that over Teo Johnson. What a way for this one to end, though. I mean, we played so well. And are you kidding me, Kennesaw? You're so salty that we are calling a timeout with 2 seconds left. It's all good. We'll get on our knees one more time, celebrate this win, or for a 3rd time. You know what? They got on my nerves, so we're going to go for a touchdown. I don't know who we're going to throw this ball up to. They sent in a blitz? Fine. I'm throwing it up over there. And they could have gotten it. Oh, well, we got the win either way. That is the important part. 345 passing yards from Alexander Bean. I think all of his touchdowns came on the ground, though. Yeah, he rushed in for them. 40 rushing yards, 66 for Sterling Joseph. I really need to check back in on Anthony Carey. So far this year, he's averaging a little less yards per carry than Sterling Joseph, but that's because he's coming in fresh. And the wear and tear damage is starting to pick up for him. I just have to figure out, like, rating-wise. He has 87 speed. I think it's his elusiveness that's better than Sterling Joseph. Normally, I'd start the younger guy, the sophomore. So, yeah, there had to be something off-putting because he is a little bit quicker and he has better change of direction. We might be making a little bit of a switch. Not until we lose, though. There's the commitment. 2nd year in a row that we're signing a 4-star. Frank Gee decided staying in Florida. He'd rather play for us than Miami, which is a huge win. If you look at how well we're doing in the rest of these recruiting battles as well, it looks like we're going to run away with basically all of them over time unless some other school comes into the picture. We're getting those commitments. We're about to get some of these first high priority guys on our board besides the deal breaker one. Honestly, can't bug me that much though. We're currently sitting at 4-0 in our conference. I think we play Middle Tennessee in a couple of weeks. They're the only other undefeated team. Liberty picked up a loss. And we're about to pick up another one too, unless we shock the world on the road at Oklahoma. It's going to be a daytime game. Not too much of a high priority one. I should start to check if we're getting any on national TV though. Not for this one. Barely anyone's watching this. But what they would watch is some of the Tuesday night games. I think Conference USA is one of the only conferences that plays then. During the month of October specifically, so around this time of year, because then they can get on TV while other schools are playing on the weekend and are more prioritized. That's how it was explained to me, at least. Win for us as football fans. Come on. We're not starting with a 3 and out. I guess we can test how far can we punt when it's not raining, though, and it is a lot better. So whenever it's raining, don't punt. We could be in for a long day, though, here at Oklahoma, just because they're going to run the rock, and they're going to get a lot of broken tackles. I still think I'd prefer that to them passing the ball all over us, because we're not going to be able to guard it. I mean, this is 2 plays into the game. Why is the stadium pulse so loud as well? We don't stand much of a chance, and they're just throwing us on the ground. I think our upset opportunity of the year was definitely against the Hurricanes. It is now 3rd and 8. JoJo Stone, who is a beast versus other cornerbacks in our conference, is not going to get any separation against an SEC corner. That's why I don't understand why he wants to transfer out so bad. It's not like he's going to play anywhere else, unless he goes to a worse school than us, because we're one of the better teams at our level. Why did I think we were about to outrun that corner? Bad decision. Very bad decision. Stadium Pulse is not allowing us to do anything here. So we're just going to hope for the best. We see the mismatch, and he turned around. At least our punt's going to put them in a pretty rough spot. They're going to be able to catch this, though, and even get off a little bit of a return. I don't know what the strategy is going to be. It might just be give them free touchdowns every few plays. I am shocked at how different this feels, though, because we played Miami on the road, too. Maybe it just has to do with the stadium pulse. We got dusted. We just got dusted over on that right side. No man-to-man coverage for Jeremiah Wilson. It might say he's a high overall, not against these kids. I genuinely don't know what to do. I didn't even know that we were passing it here. I thought I was doing a run play, and it's going to lead to our biggest game. I mean, I can't even snap the ball. No, it's not because it's that loud. It's because I can't snap the ball. Not very helpful. Not that we're going to need our timeouts at the end of the first half that bad. If we can make this pass after running backwards, it would have been sick. We've gone away from our identity, though, and this is why. I can't run the ball versus Oklahoma. There's no shot again. Where does that type of glitch even, like, come from? I don't know what could cause it. We're throwing up the 50-50 ball. I think I've already lost all hope, which I know it's very early to lose all hope, but what do you want me to do? They're about to scoop this up, and they're going to get into the end zone. It's 21-0. I'm getting smoked. I'm held speechless. I mean, this is more so what I expected against Miami. This is just ugly. They were going with a little bit of a different type of pressure there, and it messed me up with my running lane, but we're going to stay calm, and we're going to be able to go to midfield. So this is back-to-back weeks where we've gotten off to a very slow and disappointing start. I don't think we're bouncing back. It might just be their defensive line is too strong for us. If we were going to be competitive in this game, we had to play better. You have to play like perfect against a team like this. And we were very, very far from perfect, though we're getting something. In fact, I am all for just trying stuff against a team like Oklahoma because the reverse play has worked best against them. I don't know what it is. If I did that against a school in our conference, I promise I'm losing at least 5 yards. But we had an inaccurate 5-yard throw. And Alexander Bean's costing us the game. When I put them on our schedule, I wasn't imagining it'd go this bad. I was honestly thinking we were going to have such an electrifying season that we'd go into this game at like 6-1, and if we pulled this off, we would somehow be ranked inside the top 25. Now, even though we are on a win streak, obviously we had a little bit of a slower start to the year. No one could have predicted that Kent State would be the team that took us down. And then you could argue that both FAU and Kennesaw State should have beaten us. So those are other losses. We're actually just very fortunate to even be at 5-2 in the first place. And I'm going to keep an eye on what I'm doing in the pocket this time. I'm going to actually step in it. I'm not going to move anywhere and make a read. The blocking held up pretty well when I did that. We got a motion over for a 4th down run. We're going to cut back, get 15, but then I'm not going to be able to hike the ball. If this happens again, I'm going to have to take delay game. I don't understand what's causing that. Can we even make this throw? No. I think it's time we bring out the trick plays again, though. They worked the last time, so we're going to hand this one off. Get out of my way, Alexander. Oh, no. I don't know how much farther that goes for, but he was just standing there, dude. We needed him out of the way. We're still moving the chains. You know, I can't remember who got ball first, but I see us fighting our way back into this game. You end the first half with the touchdown. Then you start the second half with the touchdown. All of a sudden, 7-point game. That's the plan at the moment. I think I fell too far back there in the pocket, but it's all good. Slide, slide, slide. Now on 3rd and inches, we could get this out quick, except he just swatted it. And Alexander Bean's hurt, but we're not going to let our quarterback, our backup quarterback, determine this 4th down. We're going to fight for it. Look at that reach for it animation, man. So inspirational. We'll keep on direct snapping. And I have realized a really big problem. We have no timeouts left, so we can't go down. Like, if we don't get the first down here, we might not get off another snap. We're just going to hand this one off, and we're short. I think this has to be a direct snap. It's going to be the final play of the half. 3, 2, 1. Truck through. Reach for it. What a fight. Anthony Carey saved my whole comeback dreams until I realized that we ended up getting the ball first. It's all good, though. 2nd and 6. They're handing it off. We got them. I don't know why our defense was playing like they'd never stepped on a football field before, but now they're actually performing well. It's a 4th and inches. They're punting it back to us, and I think this whole game just opened up. Oklahoma does not have this game wrapped up. Unfortunately, I wanted to run the speed option, and they were motioning a guy over there at the very last second. Just gave them the numbers game. They had too many dudes on Sterling anyway. Does JoJo Stone have it in him to beat the press here? We'll never know, because I can't hike the ball. I decided instead of blowing one of our timeouts, it was more worth it to just take the delay game penalty. What was that? I was trying to slide, not what I was expecting. Anyway, 3rd and 3. We're going with the handoff, and this place is going insane. I think we're going to be able to pick this up. I just saw the numbers, but we still have a long way to go if we're getting a touchdown out of this drive. Solid blocks there. I actually need to give JoJo Stone his props. He didn't just pull off one block either. He then kept running down the field and gave us another. I feel like normally they just make that first block and then stand around like their job's done. We'll take it. We might have lazy receivers on this team, but JoJo Stone is not one of them. He didn't do a great job of holding it there. Honestly, though, with how bad our team is versus Oklahoma, we shouldn't be pulling off stuff like that. They should have an advantage, which is why I'm kind of terrified to run this ball here. The blocks, I followed it. It'd be kind of crazy for them to fall for this 3 times on one drive. No way. I'm sorry, boys. I like to keep it positive, but it's just such a disservice to the fans for this to be in there, especially people that bought it early. Now, instead of 1st and goal from the 1-yard line, 1st and goal from the 6. Jet touch pass doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We're getting in anyway. It's all good. I'm not as upset anymore. We're playing some real good football here at FIU. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea how on earth I'm supposed to stop that. Okay, he better not stay up. An RPO with a read option. What do you want me to do, man? I know Scott was like rubbing his hands, grinning when he put that in. We need to get that in our playbook, though. Maybe then we'd be in the top 25. I mean, I find something like that, you know we're going to be running it. What is up with this? That's just a little visual glitch, though. That one doesn't upset me as much. Come on, knock it out, knock it out. I don't know why I came into this stadium so scared. I mean, clearly we can compete with them. We could tie it up. It was almost like at first, Stadium Pulse was much higher, and they were shedding everything. Now we have kind of settled in. We have run a lot of RPOs, though. I don't know where we'd be without them. And I keep wanting to save the timeouts for when the glitch happens, but it's always been like once or twice a game. It's never been like 7 times in a game. We took a delay game. It was just easier to do things that way. I'm gonna have to throw it right above that kid's head. How are we still in this? Like, I genuinely don't know how we are. Alexander Bean's taking hit after hit. He's tired. In fact, I'm not even sure what our play is here, and I think we're gonna have to just punt it back to them. I mean, he's just going down. I really do think this matchup has proved to us, though, that our defense is able to compete with some of the bigger schools. It's honestly just the offense that is going to have most of the problems. It does make a lot of sense, though. I mean, our defense is like 10 overalls better than our offense. 50-50 ball. We almost gave it up. This is probably our last chance, though, if we want to take down the Sooners. And so we are literally going to have to throw everything at them. I can't do any quarterback runs with Bean. He is already too tired, but we have to make sure we get it out. And I'm still not sure if, like, direct snapping is any better than just, like, running an inside zone, but it's so satisfying. Here we go, though. 3rd and 6. I have a read out to the flat. That is it. And it was on target. It was supposed to be. The meter was completely fine, but Alexander Bean just sold. We're going to have to do it ourselves. Come on. Come on. In all honesty, that is probably the game. Never mind. I don't know what happened to their offense, but it's taken a major step back, and it's the 2nd time I have to make that adjustment, though. It's my fault. If I'm going to man them up there, I have to shade over the top. That's why they're burning us that bad. Now that I've been running this scheme for a bit, it's just something I've picked up, but I really don't know what I'm doing. I let them get in so we could, like, theoretically have a chance because we'd still have all 3 of our timeouts to get the ball back. But that would also require us scoring in literally, like, the next 10 seconds. You know, it might be time. JoJo Stone time. I don't know if he's able to come back to it. Aggressive catch is probably better there. That's going to be off target too. Swatted down. I'm really not too upset though. Even though we lost to a freshman quarterback, we went and played Oklahoma on the road and we competed well. There is a future for this team. There is hope. I think that is our 86 speed tight end saying he wants to play for us. To finish out this season now, we're going to face Western Kentucky first. We obliterated them last year. I'm hoping we can do the same this year. New Mexico State, who's 4-1 in conference play. Missouri State, and then Middle Tennessee, who's undefeated in conference play. To be honest, I think we could even lose a game along the way and still get to where I want to. And you might be wondering, when are the Vice jerseys going to come out again? Am I going to go squeeze into it again? We have to get our luck back with it first. If we can win with them, if they're a lucky charm, I'm going to throw that jersey on all throughout this entire series, multiple episodes, if I want to win a game. But the last time that we wore them, we lost to Kent State. The goal is for that not to happen here. First run of the game, 8 yards. I don't know if Western Kentucky still is the same coach. If they fired him, their play style would have changed up. But if he is still there, we are going to smack them again because they're 1-7. I have to assume he's still there. I also can't really punt here because it's raining, so it would go like no yards at all. And let's see how this play goes. I haven't gotten to run it on this game, I don't think. Are we going to have an open running back? We are. Anthony brings it in. We're at the 30. Never mind. We're at the 40. Close enough, though it does make a difference. If we can't get this 3rd and 10, we're not going to be in field goal range, though we're going to come close. And it's already been a long drive. Why not? Why not try and pick this up? Oh, that's a bad animation. I wanted to throw that before we had to aggressive catch. It's still early, but it's not the start we want. I just came off of facing Oklahoma on defense, though. You think number 80 over here, you think that guy's too scary to me? Because he's not. I think we're going to be just okay versus Western. He just doesn't look like he's about to put up a lot of yards on us. Another sack. I think most of our conference games are really all going to come back to me sucking on offense. Wait. Hold that block. But anyway, yeah, a bunch of low-scoring games, and it will all come down to how I'm able to play myself. We are on to our backup quarterback, though, after that play, which means we're handing it off. And despite him really needing a break, I am going to keep him out there. I saw that we beat the press over on the left side. No! JoJo Stone is going to be beating himself after that one. We're not going to get the 4th down either. I cannot possibly be this bad at offense. I mean, actually, I 100% can. But we just need to improve. I think half of it's the fact that we literally just gave up a touchdown there. Who is Fields? That is not our 6'4" beast of a freshman corner. Anyway, we are going to hit the portal so hard on the offensive side of the ball this year. I am learning my lesson in not focusing on it. But Anthony Carey, I mean, if you could just get around this guy and break a tackle, it would have been a great run. I can't believe I ever talked about making him our 2nd stringer. I like the matchup there. What am I doing? We just ran for like 80 yards, and I'm sitting here throwing the ball. This is still 4 down territory as well. They really thought we were about to hand that one off. I watched the linebacker bite on it. We have a power run on 4th down, and Anthony, come on. Wait, we're still on offense? I don't know how we're still on offense. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Anyway, I don't think that ball crossed over, but it's okay. We'll take the touchdown. On the other side of the field, it's 2nd and 10, and we get a sack. It's honestly just too easy out here. I mean, he's sensing the pressure and throwing it away. The only reason that they're even on the board at the moment... Wait, we have a wide open receiver. I hope that corner doesn't end up playing him. Okay, back to the important stuff. The only reason they are on the board right now is because we had some random dude in pressing when it shouldn't have been in. I'm still not too worried about the Hilltoppers. We threw it for 60 yards casually, and we're in the end zone again. We're looking to put them away, to be honest, by the end of this first half. But that was a great block, and I clicked on and made a bad tackle. He just better not break free. I might need to stop disrespecting some of these guys. They're a 54 overall team, but not today. They just caught me with the fake out, and they're at the 1. I mean, we can shoot in this gap and make them lose 4 yards, but they're just going to hand it off again, and it's a one-on-one tackle. It's kind of hard to believe how much we never lose those either. With FIU, we have always had at least one good corner we can trust. Is their kicker like a 10-year-old, though? Buddy could barely get that up like 15 yards in the air, so I guess they're going to have no field goal range in this game. That's some good news for us. We're going to read their coverage and have a bad throw. I believe there was probably a point this season where we didn't pass the ball that much and we actually ran it a lot more. But I think the more comfortable I've gotten with Alexander Bean, I've decided to run the ball far less. Now there's 30 seconds left in the half and we just need a quick throw. That didn't necessarily work, but trust the process here. Trust the process. It is now 3rd and 17, but we have him. We have him if it's an accurate throw. It's out of reach. We really are playing with some just pretty awful players in Dynasty until we build this team up. The craziest part too is Alexander Bean was the number 34 player coming out of high school. He was basically a 5-star recruit, and we had... Can we not talk about that one, actually? How about no one timestamps it and we just skip past this moment? Let's just imagine you saw nothing there. I didn't click on and miss a tackle for like the 50th time in this video. I don't know why. There's some just urge in me. Anytime I click on, I want to go for a hit stick immediately. It's the same urge that even though I know Mr. Alexander Bean does not have a deep ball, I will look for that streak and try and throw it every so often. Like, I'm pretty sure his deep accuracy is like 65 at the moment. And now we're fumbling it. Now we're fumbling it. This is torture. This is awful. Let me shoot in that hole again, though, and I'm going to shoot right on up in there. Come on. Get in there. Great pressure. Great pressure. Listen, we got good swimmers on this team. We're swimming to the ball. We're making sure that we're getting this right back for our offense. It looks like we're starting on the 10-yard line, though, so we got to go 90 yards down the field. Now, someone far more intelligent than me has probably already picked up and noticed on the fact that Anthony Carey has over 100 yards on like 12 carries. So we should probably be running the ball a little bit more than we already are. I hear you, which is why I'm going to give him this rock on 3rd and 2, and he's reaching forward for it. I'm really glad he's only a junior because I'm going to be sad when he leaves this roster as well. We're just going to have to find some other replacement running backs using the portal. I know that we have the arm power for this, but they get a hand on it. I really think this could work in our favor, though. If for whatever reason that safety is immediately playing on Jackson, I had another option, but he's there. He is there. We just got to keep things going in a positive direction. Honestly, having a field goal earlier would really help. We'd be tied up. I wouldn't be stressing because I came out talking pretty hot about Western, and they've outplayed us. Back to the RPOs, though. They have 2 guys committing to stop the run, and they got to us. We're getting off one final snap before the end of this quarter. It's just not a good throw. I still believe our defense is going to win us this game, which is why we're going to kick it. And you've got to be just making it up at this point. I think it's the jerseys. We are not about to lose to the Hilltoppers like this. Oh, perfect read by Jeremiah Wilson. Oh, we almost got out. I might actually be getting so bailed out at the moment. I don't know why I'm dropping back to throw. We did not need to do that there. We're going to run a little wide receiver screen underneath and set up for 3. Now, the meter is shaking a lot more because we just missed one, but this one should be good enough. Right down the middle. I would honestly really love if they decided to test Jeremiah Wilson again. He's going to be the only one out there to make this tackle. But I got a lot of faith in him. He is our star for a reason. Terrible read. Don't get me wrong. I'm not one to talk, but I literally watched him have like 3 or 4 other guys open. That's what we needed, though. That's honestly all it should take. We have the clock on our side. We have the ball on our side, and we're just going to run until we get to the end of this game. It's another one that we can basically just give credit to our defense for. Without them, this team might actually only have like a win. I could also throw a pick here, though, if I try and get a little bit too fancy. I just saw JoJo Stone was there. This honestly puts me in such a hard spot, though. Last year, I would basically guarantee this is a touchdown. I don't know if we have the speed at tight end to do it this year, but I'm going to do it anyway. It's like they wanted to give us points. You know, I'm never going to complain about some free points, though, because we're in a good spot. Here we go, 2nd and 16. I got underneath, all locked up. Don't you dare try to run. You're just going to waste time. I think if we protect the sticks and pass commit, cover 3 should be completely fine here. I mean, you're testing a corner that's not letting that happen. Now they have no choice but to go for it. I trust the one-on-one matchup on that side of the field, which means we just have to focus on the other sides of the field, and that is going to do it. I don't know, again, why I'm passing the ball. We don't need to, but we could take a touchdown. They're reviewing whether or not we got in. I think it's pretty clear that we didn't, but I don't care. Band is going crazy in the background right now. That's probably been my favorite part about the game, actually, so far. They get me pumped up. Menus sound better, but they do not want Alexander Bean to get a touchdown here. That last tackle just felt personal. That is going to do it for this game. We'll see if they end up pulling this off. I'd actually be really disappointed if they did. I was hoping to pad stats a little bit there, though. We can shake hands with their coach. I'm assuming this is a new guy. Clean dap up, though. Clean dap up. More importantly, Jordan Thomas has set the conference single-season sacks record already, though, with a few games left in the year. He might just set a national record. We're going to have to check that out. He is currently at 19. The record is 24 with Terrell Suggs, so we're actually going to hit that. I would also like to point out, this is Michael's first year with Western Kentucky. He is 1-8 with them. He's already on the hot seat. I don't know if he's going to make it until next year. I was so excited to get to the transfer portal period last year as well. I forgot to check stuff like just our team stats. I mean, we're not going to look too into it. We're not at the end of the season yet, but we are like a top 10 defense. It could have something to do with the fact that we play on the quarters that we do, but I think we have a good balance. These videos are already crazy long as well. Look at this though. Most important signing of the class. We got Tucker Freeman, so we are going to have a punter next year. While I'm thinking about it too, it might not hurt just to pick up another kicker, so whenever this guy graduates next season, we have one on standby. That's just something to keep in mind. New Mexico State picked up a loss, so even if they beat us this week, we would be ahead of them in the conference standings. This is how things are looking with a few games left in the year. And Liberty is just running their schedule at the moment. Their only loss came by 1 point to Missouri State, so maybe they're going to be better than what we faced last season. It is kind of weird to me to see Delaware at 1-8, considering they had a great season last year, which did come out of nowhere. But they have regressed back to the norm, and I feel like our conference is just a grouping of just random teams that don't really have a home in college football. Like, you have a conference with Delaware and New Mexico State, which they're pretty far apart. Now, location doesn't seem to matter too much about conferences these days, but I would like it to make a little sense, especially the smaller ones. I just don't want to see the MAC get broken apart. I feel like New Mexico State could be a great fit for like the Mountain West now, since they would have New Mexico, their rival in state, in that conference. But there had to be some reason they weren't already in it before, because I think at one point they were an independent. Who knows though? We just got to get back to this game. That route did not look great. The throw did not look great. And we're going to see if our tight end can actually route up on 3rd down. Never mind, I guess we're punting it back this early on. I'm putting it over to the side so it has a chance to bounce. Just not working out the way that I was hoping. And that's the best RPO that's been run on us. That completely shreds my typical defensive look. This one doesn't. And is that all New Mexico State's going to run against us? A bunch of RPOs? That doesn't seem like the worst thing in the world, though. I'm stuck on Thomas, and they had too much time. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself by saying that we might have found our match, but I've just seen a lot of teams in Conference USA play come out and perform pretty terribly. As I'm trying to hype them up, just give them a little bit of confidence, we get the user lurk. Let's go ahead, do the celebration with the straps down. That's hard. I don't even know who just picked that off, so I'm about to learn another name here. It is Preston Davis. He's a sophomore. I'm not sure what his deal breaker is. I hope he sticks around. Outside of Myron Robinson, who plays Mike, he is our best linebacker, so we want him on the team, especially since he's got years left of eligibility. He did look a little slow on that play, though. I went for a hurdle. In a perfect world, we get like 90 speed linebackers all out there on the field. It's not a perfect world. And we are using FIU, so it's not like we need the best team out there. It would be nice, though. Here we go. 3rd and 7. I'm probably going to throw this up to Jackson Warren. We'll see how he gets open in the end zone. And you know what? I can be very content with settling for a field goal. You know, I am starting to notice the difference, though, of not having a very good kicker, because he's close to missing a lot of them. I did not upgrade his accuracy. I only upgraded his power. And thank goodness this kid's not that quick, but he's breaking a tackle and he's still going. Parker Awad's trying to carry his team at the moment, but they're only getting 2. If I end up getting this close to the screen, that's how you know I'm locked in more than anything. I have to be like super close. I don't know. I'm just not one of those guys that can sit back 20 feet on a couch and look at the screen. I won't be able to see a thing. Like when they had me playing Ryan Williams like that and I could barely see who I'm even on. It just made me realize, how are there people out there that can do this all the time? Okay, there we go. You know, he could be a good running back. I can give him 1, 2, 3 tackles at the most, but if he broke 4 for a touchdown, it would have been ridiculous. That does add to the randomness of college football, though. I really like it. This game just, to me, is a couple of patches and bug fixes away from being in such a good spot. I remember when I was talking about it early on, and I was like, it was slow. I'm not sure how to feel about it. Quarterback accuracy's bad. But now that I've gotten my experience with some stiff arms as well, I'm having a blast. We had the jump balls last season with Alex Perry too. I mean, jump balls in this game are just incredible. If I can get a one-on-one look here, I'm going to try to prove my point as well. That's one-on-one. We're going to turn around, but I didn't come back quick enough. You need to be able to put your player in front of the other guy. You still have to win positioning. It's not like you're just going to be able to do whatever you want. Juke back there. That is why they added it. That's why they added it. I was so annoyed that the playmaker buttons changed, but now I'm starting to see the vision because I had a juke in the backfield actually work. Why did I do spins for so long in 25? It is so clear to me that the best juke move is holding down R2 and then juking to the left or the right. I don't know what video I was filming on 25 when I realized that's how you did it, but it is the most life-changing juke move out there. I feel like I got like NCAA Football 14 moves on me again. Where are we going? Where are we going? You know, I really didn't think that this soon in, we would already just be controlling our conference, but we are. We did well last season. We're hopefully going to be able to do well this year too, though they punched that out instead of us getting the throw out. And I'm sitting here saying we're just going to win this game easily, and it's 10-10. I have a feeling we're going to watch this back, and we're about to see some funky stuff, because I thought we'd at least get the throwaway there. Granted, I should have made this read sooner. What happened here? All right, slow it down. Where is this hitting off of for it to go backwards on us? I probably should have taken physics at some point. I didn't. Is this physically possible where if you get hit hard enough, you just drop it behind you? I get, yeah, that is. You know what? I can get around to that. It looks really weird because he was in a throwing motion, but I think that could happen. Like he just dropped the ball after getting hit with that much pressure, I guess. Doesn't matter. Sterling Joseph is here to get us to midfield. He's currently got 74 rushing yards in this game. We're going to get this one out. And what are we doing? There was so much potential there. I actually think that we had the numbers. But unfortunately, one of our younger guys started going upfield a little bit sooner than he should have. I would also love if it got darker outside. New Mexico State Stadium is making it hard to see. By the second half, this should be fixed just because it will be later. Sterling, use that speed to take us to the 15. I do not like that, though. I don't like that at all. I know you all saw that. And the little thing in the top left, it showed Alexander Bean on the ground, holding onto his chest for dear life. This is not the time for a backup quarterback to come into this game. Thankfully, I can keep him out there, so we will. Not for this drive, I guess, though, because he's not out there on the field. We're still going to finish it off. I just need to know what all this damage is doing to his career wear and tear health as well. That's something we have to consider. If he's going to start every game for us his entire career, we probably can't be using him the way that we have been, and we are just getting run all over. They're probably going to tie this up. You know what, though? There's still so much time left. It doesn't matter that much. Teo Johnson literally just made an incredible play as well. There probably should be some PI there. Instead, though, they tested us, and they got it. We're skipping straight over that celebration. I didn't see anything. I also do not see our starting quarterback out there. Waters is not a runner, so to even be running the speed option is risky, but if Sterling Joseph's going to be left like wide open like that, we're able to do it. He has 151 rushing yards in this game. This is his breakout performance as he's in the end zone. See, this is what we saw out of him last year. We saw flashes like this, and that's why I thought he was going to be the starter. We just placed a crown on his head, and we should. He's averaging 15 yards per carry. I mean, it does not get any better than that. I really don't like how this is setting up for us, though. We have an offense that's been pretty explosive, a receiver that can catch aggressive balls at all times, a quarterback that can run, all while our starting quarterback has been nowhere to be seen. This is why you have to build out your depth in Dynasty, though. We just haven't been here long enough to do that, and it's still really dark on that side of the field. Am I just a hater on shadows, or is it just too difficult to see to where I actually prefer if this wasn't realistic? I don't know. It probably does make it feel more realistic, just like I enjoy the snow even if I'm wearing white jerseys because of how cool it looks. Thankfully, with all that is going on, though, they had a holding penalty. We just got the biggest bailout of all time. They said there is a team in Conference USA outside of Liberty that actually looks like it's progressing. We need to make sure they win. That's literally the entire reason that we just got to stop. Without it, I think this game's all tied up at 24, and we're going to go for a few. I like staying in this formation. I'm going to run the speed option one final time, see if they pick up on it at all. Sterling Joseph for another 15-yard gain. And it's just like, at some point, they have got to figure out how to stop this kid. While we try to finish out this game with a backup quarterback, he might get the most rushing yards that we have ever seen out of a running back while using FIU. He has an energizer ability that just lit up as well, so that one is probably really important to keep around. With him getting a little bit of a breather, though, we have our third-string running back on the field for the first time, and he never stood a chance. JoJo Stone shut down in this game. We are not going to look in his direction, but that was not any better. We're just going to have to give it back to them and get another defensive stop, unfortunately. They scoop that up as well, so they're able to return it to the 27. I really just want to see Alexander Bean come out of the injury tent, though. That's what we need. We need him back. 4 minutes left in this game now. Drag underneath. I'm over it. I'm over it. Where are we going? We're scrambling? That's fine. We can hit you. This man just walked over to the sideline, though, at the bench area and started grittying around his teammates. We better not lose to him. What? These tackles make me really realize that if we don't work on getting players that are better at tackling, if we don't get some better cafeteria food at FIU so we can stuff their mouths full, making them gain weight, then I think there's going to be a lot of missed tackles like that we've seen on this drive. I think the most annoying thing about them is they play so much like me. They run all these RPOs and they have the speed to gash us. They're going to run it up the middle here. I'm all over it. But it might bite us in the butt to run commit 2 times in a row, and it does. I ran commit middle. They went to the outside. I did just see their cannon shoot off, though. I really hope that the lights are not too bright for Zachary Waters. We're going to start off getting him warmed up. Just a light throw, nothing too challenging. And then we're going to hit that massive outside gap with Sterling Joseph. I flipped the run play. I saw the numbers on that side of the field. I went to the right side of the field and it didn't work. So sometimes it's best to just flip that play call. I don't see anything. I don't know why Coach Suggestions has me running that all the time. We're going to run the ball on 3rd down. Was it the right decision? Probably not. But because we did that and we didn't pick it up, we're going to get them out at the 5. This could actually be really good news for us if I hadn't burned a timeout. They break a tackle. And I just want to get the ball back instead of going to overtime, which we're not going to be able to do. I'm literally calling timeouts for them on 3rd down. They're throwing it. And it's completed, so now they're probably going to try and get in field goal range. I thought we'd be able to get the ball back and avoid overtime. Instead, I'm watching that crosser. Okay, we're going OT. Absolutely the last thing I want to do with Zachary Waters, but he's just going to have to step up. Maybe Alexander Bean's going to come out of nowhere and bless us. He is not going to be there, though. Starting out on offense, I'm actually going to run the speed option again. They've not shown us that they can stop it, so why would we change? They need to learn to adjust. I don't know if they've got a stubborn, adaptive AI or what, but they're getting trashed on by our running back. Sterling Joseph is definitely clearing 200 yards at this point. One-on-one, he's got the speed to get to the outside. I'm not excited, though. I would be excited if I knew we were going to get a stop. But do you know what the most likely option is? They get into the end zone, then go for 2 or something. Antonio Patterson must not have a very strong hit stick either, because right after that, where he ran straight into a hit stick, it took another tackle to bring the guy down. Doesn't matter now, they scored. I ran commit 2, then accidentally clicked onto a corner. I mean, it just wasn't good. By the way, this might sound crazy, but I still get PTSD from NCAA Football 14 in overtime games. Back then, it was bugged, so whenever you're supposed to get your turn of the possession, sometimes it would just give the opposing team both possessions. And so to this day, I still don't trust the game to make sure both teams get the ball. It gets me so anxious during OT, plus the fact that there's just so much pressure. But speaking of pressure, who's got 4 sacks in this game and who's got 1? That's the difference maker here. 3rd and 10. I'm ready for everything. Hit that drag. I missed my hit, but it's all good. Thank you for your support. It's pretty cool back there in the background as they hit their field goal. They got a nice little setup here at New Mexico State. That's about the last time I'm saying something positive about them, though. It is time to go and just run more with Sterling Joseph. I hope he knows he is not getting out of this game, and we're not throwing the rock in overtime. He is going to win it. This is his game. If we're going to have Anthony Carey over on the sidelines complaining because he hurt himself a little bit, he's not the starter. One player has carried us to this point, and his name is Sterling Joseph. He's going to hit the hole, and he's going to find the end zone. I don't know how else to explain how stressful this game would be if we didn't have him on our roster. He earned himself the starting job. You can't say he did. There's Alexander Bean as well. It's nice to see him at least standing up. He's getting active. 256 rushing yards, 5 touchdowns, over 10 yards per carry. That's the best performance of the season. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this right here. It does not surprise me. He set a single game record for FIU rushing touchdowns. Is that the rushing yards record, though? No, it's not. I mean, that would be kind of low for a record. Most schools have had some guys have some pretty crazy games, but I'm sorry. You're just going to have to get demoted, Anthony Carey. This is what I'm more worried about, though. Are we going to have to sit out Alexander Bean for a week because he's taken so many hits this season? I mean, his career health is already a 4th depleted. I really don't know what to do about that, and I also feel like we don't ever have players that get injured for multiple weeks at a time. This is the 2nd year where our injury report's been empty. Do not get me wrong, though. That is a good thing, though. I better not have jinxed it because I would love if we just stayed healthy the rest of this season. We got a few games left. We have also opened up the door with our playing style going up to a C+ for Terrell Doucette. Now, here's the problem with landing him. He's probably going to transfer at some point, plus we don't have hours. So I'm not too sure what to do about that. If we look at the rest of our conference standings, Middle Tennessee, 7-3, undefeated in conference play still. Liberty's up to 9-1. Before that matchup, though, keeping it pretty simple, we just get to go on the road at 57 overall Missouri State. And I have gone in with such an ego against some of these teams just because they're a lot worse roster-wise, which has almost cost us multiple games so I'm going to try my best to not do that against them. All it takes is a touchdown or two, and I'm just sitting here thinking that it's already over, that they can't beat us. But the truth is, we still have a lot of holes that we need to work on, and I have an idea. If we want to save Alexander Bean's wear and tear health so he can play better the rest of the season, I think we let Zachary Waters start. Actually, even better, we're putting third stringer Clayton Dees out there because he ended up having a really good practice showing off his speed. I know this comes seconds after I said we were just going to take him seriously, but you have to keep in mind, this is Sterling Joseph on his breakout anyway, so we're just going to feed him the rock most of the time. And if the pitch was better, he probably would have had a big play here. He's still up. This kid is angry that he has not been the starter most of the year. I mean, he is showing out. Are we going to throw a forward pass with Clayton Dees, though? That's the real question, and I honestly don't know if I can answer it for you. In a perfect world, we wouldn't. We're just going to control the clock. We're going to control possessioning. But we'll see what happens on 2nd and 13, whether or not we have to. You know what? We're not going to. We're going to go with a reverse play instead, and we're going to set up for our field goal. This is going to be a very hard-fought win by the end of this game. This whole process is extremely reliant upon our defense. If they make even one mistake, all of a sudden, literally everything changes. We just need to force 3 and outs. That is the end of the story, and we forced a fumble. Perfect. They were about to sling it for a touchdown too that I left to them wide open, but it's okay. Instead, we get it to Sterling Joseph, and he goes to the 8. I really feel like using the speed option is one of the best runs that you can choose from. But we only have one in this playbook. We're just going to immediately take off right here. Blocking's there. Fight your way in. Touchdown. I just haven't had this much faith in a running back since we were using KJ Owens last season. It's starting to make our coaching decision of benching our starting quarterback not as crazy. The only downside to doing that is he does care about playing time. We'll see how he reacts. I just need someone to explain to Alexander Bean that I'm doing it for his long-term health. We're covering the flat over here on 3rd down, and they decided to take a sack. They are really not doing themselves any favors. We're going to see if this outside zone feels like the speed option. It sets it up the same way. And basically, we've just kept it up, though you can see he's starting to take a little bit of an effect. We're already 13 carries deep, which means Wilkes is going to get some looks as well. He's small. Darian Wilkes is either a freshman or he redshirted last year. I can't remember which one. I really didn't mind him much on that last run, though. In fact, it was nice to have someone not be exhausted. I really think that we are just going to let him continue to carry us as we're all the way to the 2. How is Missouri State going to respond? I want him to get his touchdown here. I believe that he deserves it. Funny enough, without me throwing the ball, this is one of the best games that we have played all season. That is the first time I think we've given up a first down in this game. And I don't know what Missouri State's supposed to be doing against us. I guess going underneath works out pretty well for them. We're going to press them a lot here, though. And I see the middles wide open. Still about 45 seconds left in this first half. We've gotten them to a 4th and 1. And I actually ended up calling a timeout so we could get the ball back before the end of the half. But instead of kicking, now they're going for it. We could have just held them to 3 and everyone would have been happy. But instead, they're going for glory and they're short. All things considered, I'm very happy about this. We're trying to win a game without throwing a pass, and we seem to be having a lot of success. Sterling Joseph's already rushed for 90 yards. And he's not going to pick up where he started in the first half since we got Wilkes out there. But he's a small running back that can get out himself, and I'm starting to think that there might just be a method with the certain ones that we're currently using. I mean, these guys are not that big. They're not bruisers, but they are able to hit these holes in stride and just make stuff happen. Like, I haven't even had to go with very many quarterback runs. Even if I wanted to, the halfback direct snaps are better for it anyway. This 3rd quarter is where we really just look to close things out, and as long as they're hesitating, they're not getting it. We've even been able to find our other running back out on the depth chart. He wants some action. I hadn't seen Anthony Carey in so long, but clearly he wanted to play a little bit. Look at Wilkes. Originally, Darian Wilkes didn't get me too excited or anything, but he might also have potential. He is not going to be picking up short yard situations for us, though. Just explosive stuff. Like, if we have the numbers with the speed option here, I would trust him to get around this corner. I would say it might be time to throw forward passes, but instead we're going to run it and we're going to stay on the ground. It's kind of dumb, but at this point, I just want to see if it is possible to win a game without completing a single pass. And with 5 minutes left in the 4th quarter, even with Missouri State getting into the end zone, I'm just not that worried, though I've definitely picked up that Wilkes is not ready for a lot of touches. He's what we've been stuck with. We haven't been moving the ball as well. I think a lot of stats matter for running back outside of just speed. At the end of the day, though, this is what the final score is going to be. And with how stressful some of our games this season have been, that one just felt good. As a team, we had no passing stats. We did not attempt a single pass, but we were able to rush for about 250 yards. Jordan Thomas has also set the Florida International career sacks record. I think this is his first season with us. The only thing we have for him is he signed with us, so I'm assuming we got him in the transfer portal. He is currently sitting at 24.5 sacks this year. I guess this is a good breakdown of where all those have come. Oklahoma was able to hold him to nothing. And I think he'll get the national record if he just picks up a half sack against Middle Tennessee. This potentially could be the conference championship game as well. I don't know if Liberty or them would have the tiebreaker if we won, or if we lose this game, are we going to be the team that's out of the conference championship? That's a lot to think about. And if we take a look at the rest of our recruiting board right now, you can see a lot of these high schoolers we're still running away on. Florida's actually come into the battle for this guy, but it's not going to be the end of the world if we don't get him. We're going to really make our moves in the transfer portal. I mean, last year we were able to make signings. Our school grades have to continue to go up, even though our stadium atmosphere is not increasing very much. Whether or not we get into the Conference USA Championship game, though, all comes down to this. These are the two teams that were in the top 3 for me to potentially choose to be my first rebuild, and now they're both here in year number 2. There is one potential problem, though. It's going to be my first game of the day. I just got off announcing that I'm going to be doing FIU for this first rebuild, and it's sick. All the coaches have been showing love. I think it's kind of funny since by this point in the dynasty, I actually fired all of them. They can forgive me, though, when they see what we have done with this team. Let's just pretend they're still working here in the background as we go ahead and try and make it to the Conference USA Conference Championship. On 2nd and 5, we're going to keep it, and I mean, that was just a great play from the corner. If 18's going to be making plays like that, I'm not sure how much we're going to be able to lean on RPOs, though Devon's able to get out here, and he spins around all 3 of those kids, making them look silly. We're only a minute into this game, but we're gone for a tutty. That is exactly what we needed. We're also going to be testing a sophomore quarterback in this game, which is great. He's still young. He's going to be prone to making mistakes, and that running back's got a little bit of juice on him. Okay. I needed a little bit of a warning that Jaden Woods was going to refuse to go down. A lot of running backs on this team are going to. Still, though, 3rd and 5, the trusty coverage we always run. They are going to be passing, but this last second flip cannot happen. Flat is there. It's all good. This is setting up very nicely for us, especially if Sterling Joseph can hit that second layer. He was so close to busting that one off for a touchdown. I'm cutting to the outside. It's not going anywhere. But I think one thing I've already picked up on is Middle Tennessee doesn't have that much speed, so there's a huge opportunity for big plays. If they want to commit to stopping the run, they can. It's just going to be a challenge for them. And I think we're about to punch our way into the conference championship. Here on 3rd and 4, I'm actually going to drop back and pass just because I saw the potential in Jackson Warren getting off the line like that. Once we get inside the red zone, he just becomes that main target that I look to feed the rock. A little bit too far of a throw there. But then again, how do we think they're going to guard this? You make the right read, you get a touchdown. I'm just so locked in right now with this team. I believe that we deserve to win a conference championship. What I might not want to do, though, is show off too much in this game in case we play them again. See, we're facing either them or Liberty in the conference championship. That is a given, assuming this lead holds, but I think at this point, it's pretty obvious that it should. We've come out up 14-0 against some other schools, but we have been running it so well recently, and we're trying to lead this team to glory. Good throw, good catch. I know we haven't used Burke that much this year, but for a backup tight end, he's consistent. And if we just had some speed on Jackson Warren, I would love to try and pick apart the defense here. Instead, we gotta go for 6. There is multiple reads I could make in this situation. That's one of my favorite. And we got a flawless system over here at FIU. We know what we're running whenever we plan out each one of these drives. I don't think we've spammed anything too much to where coaches could pick up on it, but we're definitely running some of the same stuff. And there's not really any way to tell, but I feel like half of our completions have come off of screen passes as Sterling Joseph finds his way into the end zone. That's the play I've been trying to get to work all video, and it just did for the first time. This has been just such a hard season to understand because we've had some close conference games, we've had some blowouts. We've had a couple where I really did not deserve to win, and they just highballed that pass. That wasn't even a bad look from them either. I could have seen it working out. We're going to have to make a big hit in time, and we do. Middle Tennessee is a bit more aggressive, so they're going to go for it in this situation. It's just not going to be enough. They haven't caught a single break going their way, and they haven't been able to stop us either, even though they just made us lose 3 yards. They still have to get us off the field, and there's a lot of time left on this drive. I should have thrown it sooner. I was waiting on that route to develop. We're going to try and put this above the linebacker's head, but it basically is just an arm punt. I don't even think that was a bad read. I just don't think we have the arm talent at the moment to place the ball there. Losing 10 yards on a run, though, is so tough to deal with. They got back 8 of it, but if they don't score before the end of this first half, I think it's over. Whenever it comes to closing out games, we have certainly had some struggles, but we're currently getting a lot better at running the football. Back to the way it was last season, and that's helpful. Due to the rain, though, we do unfortunately have to go for this. It ended up working out anyway. I would love if we could at least get a field goal out of this drive, but we are going to need a halfback screen to go in our favor since they've been getting in pressure relatively fast ever since we went up by 21. There's still a little bit of time left in the half here. I see a mismatch. I mean, we have the size. Did you really think a 5'9" corner was about to stop 6'8" Jackson Warren? Size seriously matters on this game. I can't take all of that away, but if they're going to try and scramble, you're going to lose yards. They did their best on offense on their first drive just for the kick to be blocked right there. What a terrible way for them to have that first drive at the second half end. I think we just got to continue to run the football and keep running time off of the clock. I'm going to try a little spin move here again. And just like the earlier touchdown, we are able to just get so much separation off of it. I don't think you all realize how happy being able to do stuff like that is. They are really testing Jeremiah Wilson in this situation. They're going for another field goal just to get onto the board. I mean, this is getting sad. That would be the last score and play this game, though. We didn't want to show them too much. We still fed Sterling Joseph a good amount anyway. Well, if we wanted to get handed our first conference championship, this seems like it would most certainly do it. I mean, Middle Tennessee just did not compete. And I don't know how they ended up getting the tiebreaker over Liberty because Liberty never played them. The Flames are ranked inside the top 25. Their one loss came by a point to Missouri State, while Middle Tennessee has lost 4 games this year, one of them coming to Marshall, Kansas, and then Nevada. But none of that matters. I know you all probably saw it. We just mentioned Liberty is ranked inside the top 25. So is FIU. And so is FAU at 8-4. I really haven't been paying much attention to what's been going on in the rest of the college football world. You see Pittsburgh's undefeated, but like none of this mattered since we were never going to be in the running for the playoffs. All of that just changed though because we beat FAU head to head, and one of us is going to hopefully win the conference championship and then get that 5th automatic spot to the playoffs. It just doesn't even make sense how the Owls got to this point in the first place. They started the year with 4 losses. They lost to an FCS school, but then they won 8 straight, putting them in the running for a playoff spot. It's weird for them, it's weird for us to both be in this position, but it's a great opportunity. With our defensive coordinator, he does not help with recruiting, he doesn't help with scouting, so he's going to get poached. That's definitely what happened. It's the same thing that happened last year. Some of our coordinators just happen to get taken by other schools. I've been pretty happy whenever it comes to Jared Parker, though, as our OC. I mean, he's been able to help us on the recruiting front when it comes to scouting some of those players faster. He also has some bonuses in strategist and tactician. Strategist might be one of the best things as well, because as you can see, tier 3 lower the bar, it means those positions have a lower deal breaker threshold. We're still going to be set to lose JoJo Stone, though we are going to keep around Justin Devon. Playing time hasn't been good enough for Tyson Carter. I guess we haven't thrown the ball enough to him because he's been out there on the field. But you know what? If this guy wants to leave, he can leave because you can look at his skill caps. He's not going to get to a much higher overall. It's a shame, but that's how we have to treat the sophomore, and let's run it back against Middle Tennessee. As long as it's not raining, that is what I'm hoping for. It looks like we've actually been able to escape the rain down here in Florida, and we do get to host the conference championship game because we're the higher seed, so that's going to have the whole home crowd on our side. You might notice we have rushed the ball still less than we have thrown the ball this year. And if I zoom out, you're going to see the crowd is packing out this stadium for this game. I think it is the first time that that's happened. I told you there was potential here at FIU, and we're working on building it up. We are going to need to get them off the field on 3rd and 3, though, and that's what we do. Tyson Carter on the return is going to cut it back, and he's actually going to have a great amount of separation. But they were just able to stop him, and let's lock in this conference championship. First play of the game, they have everything locked. That was a play that we ran against them last week. It's why I didn't want to show them very much. Since it's not raining as well, if we don't get this 3rd and 4, I have to keep it realistic and punt, though we break the tackle, and close enough. We're an aggressive coach. We're at about midfield. We can go for this even early on. We don't respect them. We just beat them 35-3. Nobody is scared. We're going for a conference championship just 2 years in, which is crazy. On 2nd and 2, following the bubble, they've done a very good job of tracking that. And we'll see what they do against the pass. They're going to come under the ball and pick it? This is what I get for throwing the football. Our stadium pulse still isn't that impactful. It's not like it makes a major difference for us. That's with the packed crowd as well. I think we still have work to do with that, but we're going to get the interception with Antonio Patterson, and that's what the senior does. I've been able to get so many picks with that kid. I'm glad he gets another. And we're going back to the run since passing wasn't there. They might have schemed pretty well on our offense, though, for this game because it's now 3rd and 11. This already has a different feel, which is weird because last week we were on the road. I can at least appreciate the fact their offense is still bad, though. And let's see what they go with on 2nd and 13. Lots of time back there to make a decision. There would just be no excuses if we ended up losing this matchup. He thought about scrambling for a second. I still can't believe this team lost to Kent State either. I mean, we'd be in the playoffs with a win if we did. I would have never expected that, though. I guess the American Conference is just having a bunch of teams having a rough year. FAU should not be the best team in that conference, just off of what we saw when we faced them. I'm convinced if we played them again, we would literally beat them by like 40. We have better team chemistry now. Everybody's on the same page, and we're not going to blow a lead. There really is something about our defense just keeping us in these games, though. I want to break off that tackle. And this might as well be 4-down territory. We're going to hold our block there. We're going to bring it in with Jackson Warren, and he goes to the 1. It's not going to take much to put this one into the end zone. But I should have just gone with the quarterback blast from 1st and goal, which doesn't work either. I don't even think I ran that one against them last week. They've done their scouting, though we have our running back open. This is ridiculous. Middle Tennessee shouldn't be in this game. That's the type of stuff, though, that will always open up the chance for them to be in it, except we get the safety. I don't think you can ask for much more than that. They went down to commit to the run. It wasn't there. And this whole stadium is going to be rocking by the end of this game. I wish I could tell in the ticker what the score was for FAU's matchup. We got to watch out for that. If they end up losing, we're a lock for the playoffs, though it's 4th and 3. I guess we should probably punt it here. Not my best work, though. The FAU game hasn't kicked off yet. We are still only up by 5. At some point, they might actually turn it up on us, but that's a bad throw. That really sums up this entire conference. I've seen people saying that bad quarterbacks aren't missing passes, but we've seen it. What about our offense starting to play a little bit better, though? That's what I'm hoping for. I didn't see anything I really liked there, which means it's time for Alexander Bean to make a kid miss and get a huge rush. Still a minute left in this first half as well. I really don't like that sweep play. If we're going to run the ball, we need stuff like these direct snaps. Get closer. And I'm going to be honest, this might be another field goal drive, but we have a wide open Daryl Clausen, and Daryl Clausen puts on the Jets to dive into the end zone. What an ending to this first half. 12-0, an odd score. But there's not much more you can ask for. They scored 3 points on us last week, so do we think they're coming back? I sure don't. We got a very lucky matchup here. I don't know how many teams in our conference found ways to lose to Middle Tennessee either, because I've seen nothing impressive. There's not been like one play even from their quarterback where I'm like, wow, I can see how he did well. In fact, they might have the worst offense that we have faced all year, but their defense is good. I am so sick and tired of them being able to stop us. I'll take a punt down to the 7, though. Here on 2nd and 10, their running back is wide open. But we just screamed in pressure, so they had nowhere to go. And he's going to try and scramble. You can't really see any of them in the crowd, but if there were any Middle Tennessee fans that traveled to this game, you feel bad. Sterling Joseph is also not looking great health-wise. He's down -9 speed. That's why I'm not surprised Anthony Carey's back out there on the field. But these missed block attempts are going to hurt us. Look at how much JoJo Stone just got boxed up, too. We should probably be playing the field positioning game, especially since they have literally not moved the ball. But I am trying to end this one on this drive. I am sick and tired of not scoring. That is what carries with our running back should feel like. The fact that it doesn't shows how much wear and tear is picking up. And we haven't really been hit with penalties for RPOs this year, but that is one of them. That means it's time to throw the rock. Our left guard just got destroyed. We got no separation from JoJo Stone. No, they're not getting back into this game because I threw a pick 6. This cannot be how this game goes. It wasn't open. I don't know why I threw that ball. It's just like with this route, most of the time, they should be able to get some form of separation. We have really got to hit the portal hard for receivers whenever it comes to the offseason. Quick little get out of there from Alexander Bean. Hang on. He's going to go for a touchdown run. The pick 6 doesn't matter. I don't know where that just came from. He pulled out some jets we have not seen yet. I mean, just look at the cut up that he had right here. He felt like way faster than he's felt the rest of his career. He had me speechless, but I did sim the kickoff return and then one play accidentally after that. And guess who scored? Middle Tennessee. They had like a 70-yard passing touchdown. I didn't even mean to skip it, but because I did, we now have the ball back again, and we have to do something. I really thought that after that touchdown run from Alexander Bean, the game was just going to be over. But since it's not, and we have to make some cut-ups with Wilkes, we're getting a first. I think we're going to be able to run out the rest of the clock. They've been burning timeouts. But if that is going to happen, it's going to take one more first down, and it's coming right here. Cut back, cut back. We can just take a knee, assuming that we fight for 1 yard, and it looks like we're going to hit the hole. What is 96 doing? I think he's trying to get his scholarship pulled because this is some elite level defense with his back to the ball. I have never seen anything like that before, but we take our knee and we have brought home the conference championship just 2 years into taking over FIU. I mean, I got to be the most successful coach at this school that they have ever had. I really appreciate you, coach. You just made this the easiest conference championship win in my life. Alexander Bean appreciates him too. You got guys on your defense that aren't even looking at the ball. Man, I don't know if we're going to be able to run this back in season number 3. I sure hope we do through the transfer portal, though. If we can run back that same type of thing next season, dominating conference play, making sure that we win another championship, I see no reason why bigger conferences wouldn't invite FIU to join them. Especially if we end up getting a spot in the college football playoff. We have a better record than FAU. They could still lose their conference championship. So that's what I'm most curious about. I don't care about these commits at the moment. We ended up jumping them in the polls, which is all that we needed. I think we have that spot. Are we going to get obliterated? Absolutely, especially if we have to face Alabama. I do not want that. But there's no reason we shouldn't be in there. And Jordan Thomas deserves this. I think he's about to take home about every defensive award he possibly can. I'm surprised he hasn't broken the sacks record, though. He's going to have to pick up one in our playoff game. Yeah, you deserve the Lombard. As for our opponent, it's going to be USC. They're number 5 in the country. We are obviously the 12 seed, but I am literally just happy to be here. With all the success that we're having in our program as well, there are multiple coordinators I could hire, but literally none of them have the recruiting benefits that I want, so we might as well just go with the guy that runs a 4-2-5 and can help us with the architecture. From this point forward, our staff's just going to keep getting better. So is our team. Besides losing this one commit to Florida, we won out on every other prospect. We got 16 signed at the moment. We have a star dev running back, and could we get our first elite dev player? Unfortunately, we cannot, but we have Frankie, the 4-star defensive tackle with star dev. We have a lineman with star dev. We even have a tight end that's going to have star dev. And that is plenty good enough for FIU. I think we're about to start earning a lot of respect around the country. Yes, it is time for our first playoff game. So the jerseys come back on. This is important. We are headed on the road to USC, who is not going to make this easy for us. We have to deal with Stadium Pulse. But if we can somehow manage to pull off this upset, that would only do amazing, incredible things for this FIU program. So if I'm repping this jersey, it's got to pop up in a second. We're repping the Vice jerseys. Here at the Coliseum, it is raining, so rain is going to be coming down. It means we're not going to be able to punt the ball, which is a whole other problem we have to deal with. But we can trust our defense. Now, it's already popped up that they pass the ball 70% of the time. Not exactly something I'm going to be looking forward to. They're going to throw that one on the run, though. This could be a long game. We got a sold-out crowd here. They're keeping it with option. It's fine. Great edge play. We are stuck on Thomas, though, which means they're getting out the halfback angle route. And Antonio Patterson is getting absolutely gashed. I cannot believe how bad that got. 50-50 ball. He just caught that like that? Yep, it's going to be a long day. I don't know who thought it was a bright idea to let USC get Noah Fafita, but starting off with the run, I hit that hole wrong. We'll take 10 from Alexander. I mean, our blocks held up a lot better than I thought they were going to. But I think we need to avoid taking a lot of hits in this game, or else wear and tear is going to be bad. This is 4-down territory, though, so we'll see what we can do. But I was not expecting to lose 5 yards. Our tight end's open on the drag, and bringing that in keeps us in it. Now, it has already popped up that one of our offensive linemen went out of the game because he was injured. Sterling Joseph breaks a tackle. And I need to start mixing in those bubbles again, because that is where we really make a difference. We're trying to stretch him out. The corner decided he wanted to try and stop the run, which means we're going to be able to get an easy 8. I'm actually liking how this is going a lot. This is what you'd expect out of USC's defense. They're just not able to stop very much as we're at the 6. I don't want this game to turn into a shootout, but a few touchdowns is fine. We better lock in, though, because at the moment, touchdown's not looking likely. I am going to throw that slant to JoJo Stone basically no matter what. He didn't get open. He didn't get open. Wait, how are we still standing in the pocket? I felt the sack coming, so I looked away, and then we're still running backwards. That's going to make this field goal a little bit more difficult. If they block this, Okay, we're good. We got our 3. I don't really want to glaze the Coliseum either, but it does look really good on this game, especially with a night game. Just at the moment, USC's our enemy. We have to figure out how to stop them. I don't think it's going to be that challenging. I don't know. We held our own versus Miami. We did against Oklahoma later on. And here on 3rd and 13, that's not there. 50-50 ball, we'll take that. Okay, that works too. I'm telling you right now, this is a team that we can compete against. I can already see the vision. In the 4th quarter, we run our 50th run play of the game for the game-winning touchdown. That's how it's going to go down. They just haven't had a response for how we pound the rock yet. A little bit of a screen pass as well. I think that's where we're going to get our biggest gains, though they're covering the jailbreak screen, which means we're going to have to low ball this and then make the aggressive catch. There's a flag. It's coming against us. I don't know what it was. Illegal man downfield or something? Nope, it was somehow offensive pass interference. This is 2 down territory, though. Quarterback draw on the first play, gets us 5. And I have my read to Warren there. It was there for a second. Scramble, block for us. Alexander Bean keeping us alive in this game. I was spamming the slide button as well. Before y'all are like, oh, you're going to fumble there. I was trying to make sure we didn't. I do think it's important that we get some passes out as well, though, just since we've not thrown the ball much. We're currently controlling a lot of this game, which has taken the stadium pulse out of it. I don't know what to do about those sheds, though. I feel like it's just gonna happen. And I don't want to hear it. I was trying to hit the outside. He, like, teleported there to stop us. We have a good pass. That was too far off. We're just going to have to take another field goal and be happy, which is fine. We're keeping it tight. What is this USC offense going to respond with? Little throws underneath. That doesn't worry me, though. Zone just flipped right before the play, and thank goodness the 2-minute warning hit. I mean, that would have been it for us. They're running an RPO. But why is it only in these, like, important matchups where everything doesn't line up the way that we want it to? Come on. We had that ball in our hands. They're keeping it. We can hit their quarterback. It's fine. Good wrap-up right there on 3rd and 7. I don't know where our cover 3 zone is on the back of the field. Also, I got to click on to try and make this tackle because he's running straight. He's not running towards the receiver, breaking towards the end zone. Boys, what are we doing? We have come too far this season to let stuff like that ruin the year. We're getting like 20 yards through the air immediately. We can get points before the end of the first half. I believe in this team. Tight end's not really open, so we're going to have to go underneath and get 4. I really don't like that we're stuck in this formation. We're running down clock, though, in case we don't move the ball, so they don't have time to score. This is still 4 down territory, in my opinion. Turn around to the ball. Perfect. All right, this is going to be a blind read because I can't really see over there. The block didn't pick up in time. We're literally just going to have to try and hit that crosser or scramble for it ourselves to get into field goal range. Don't fumble. I don't think there's going to be enough time to get off another play. We need these 3 points extremely bad, though, and that is what we should be coming away with. All things considered, for playing a top 5 team with FIU, to be within 5 at halftime's cool. With our offensive possessions, we have been able to milk a lot of time off of the clock. If we can make both of those kids miss, we almost had it. I know you all saw the vision right there. Immediate hit on the slant. Oh, no. See, I'm going to try to explain why I just threw it there, and I'm afraid that once I go back to instant replay, it's not going to make sense. Actually, it does. Okay. So, this kid right here in the middle of these 3 defenders, I assumed he's on a cornerback blitz. We got to get it out fast. I see this white linebacker, 36, maybe he's a DB, sprinting over in man-to-man coverage on 83. So, I assume that other guy on the outside is also in man-to-man, and the second we cut on that slant since he's backed off, immediate 10 yards. That was not an immediate 10 yards. The one thing I can't do in games like this is make mistakes, because you make one mistake, you probably lose. Was nobody going to tell me that their running back, Brian Jackson, has armbar either? Thankfully, we get the sack. I had to switch coverages last second because all of our zones had flipped around. This puts us in the same position we were to start this second half, though. We are just down by 5 points, and I'm not going to have a quick trigger to throw the ball. Instead, I'm going to make sure that they're open. Daryl Clausen might be the read on this 3rd and 11. We'll see. It is cover 3. We just have to place it. Split the zones. I forgot about punting, too. I'm pretty sure because it's raining. Never mind. I guess rain doesn't have anything to do with it. That went farther than the old ones. The old ones had been rough, but what is up with our zones flipping against the best teams? I don't get it. It's not like we're playing match coverage and they're motioning guys over or anything either. It's going to make it like impossible to stop them. How did he keep going? I'm almost wondering if it's a visual thing and they actually will play decent defense themselves, though they're at the 10. I mean, we just manned up both of the corners on the outside because the zone flipped again, and they ran it anyway. You see what this is doing, though? I don't know what I'm supposed to do about it. It's just defense is normally where we are at our very best, but I just don't feel like I could even get USC off the field at the moment and a cutback into 2 spins. I tried. We're only down by 12, so it's not like this one's completely over. They're just stopping the bubble so well. I just thought about it, though. The more attention they pay to that side, the more attention over there. We could run a speed option. What? Okay, I might have pitched this a little bit too late, and it should have been a fumble. How did it deflect like that, though? It looks like it was still going to bounce straight into our running back's hands, and he smacked it to them because of the wet ball, so they get it. Once again as well, I'm like trying to man up and change stuff with our defense, and then it messes it up for a second. Once the play hiked, it looked like it was right. I don't know how I'm going to stop him. I'm so concerned because the stuff that we were able to do against conference opponents isn't registering. Like, it just decided we were going to flip Lee on the outside over to that side of the field. So then we went back to a cover 2 before the play started. They would have had a touchdown there. It might only occur when you face certain offenses, though, and that's why I never noticed it whenever I played this game originally. I don't know. We seem to be getting a lot of sacks, which is a win. They just handed it off on 3rd and 20. That type of hit made sure they're not even going to get a field goal out of this drive, but we're going to be starting from like the 10. 95 yards down the field to get back into this game. Sterling doesn't have the speed versus these kids. I just think back to those drives where we only got a field goal, though. Those are really game-changing, and I could step up and get 8. This is 100% 4-down territory as well. We faked everybody out, but he was being lazy. If he gets there a second sooner, we immediately have the 1st down. Instead, we have to hand this ball off, and there's nowhere to go. This legendary defense is going to go to waste. I mean, I didn't think we'd be here in the first place, but we're about to lose so much talent going into next season, some of our top talent at least. 50-50 ball, we could definitely pick that. I'm just hoping that the transfer portal treats us as well as it did this past season. I'm excited for that. I'm very excited for player progression, and I'm very excited for next season just because if we can keep up a good amount of success, we'll get better conference invites. Off the top of my head, American will definitely be looking. The ACC needs an 18th member. We'd be in conference with Miami, but are they actually going to be willing to take on FIU? That's what I'm really wondering. They've been able to get a sack, get us to a 4th and 17. I just haven't had much success trying to split their defense. I know, it's a shock. Real shock I'm throwing picks. Whenever we're not controlling the game on offense with the run, I felt hopeless in this game. Did they just go wildcat with that running back? We're getting smoked. We're getting embarrassed. We're going to have SEC accounts on Twitter saying that we didn't deserve it, that they should have put in an 8-4 SEC team. We're just going to get flamed, and it's not even our fault. We didn't really deserve to be here. If it weren't for us being the 5th highest rated conference champion, we barely were inside the top 25. Everyone else just had a bad season, and we're getting put on blast because of it. What happened to our star tight end? I was enjoying throwing the ball to him. Now we're just going to have to hand it off. Sterling Joseph can't get the touchdown. And the game's not technically over yet. We still could get a couple onside kicks. We are trying our best to at least make this look respectable. JoJo Stone, he got that? You know what? I'm not going to question it at all. That was the worst onside kick I've ever seen. Final score is going to be 31-17. Not the end of the world, to be honest. I will take this. USC probably spent at least 10 times as much on their roster. They play in a bigger conference. But you best believe we will be back, especially since fewer players want to transfer than ever before. That's some good news. We have a defensive coordinator that should be signing with us this week. I think it's popping up right here. And who knows how good USC even was. They couldn't beat Pitt in the next round. Georgia and Bama met in the championship where Georgia won it all. SEC still on top. Last year, it was between 2 SEC schools. The same thing happened this season. And do you know who never got into the record book for sacks in the season? I thought it was going to be a lock, but Jordan Thomas slowed down to end the year. He wasn't getting any sacks, which really stinks because he should have put his name there. As for some of our other season stats, 2,500 passing yards, 19 touchdowns, 12 picks out of Alexander Bean. I'm not going to complain there, especially when he was able to rush for another 500 yards with 12 tutties. Then you got Anthony Carey putting up similar stats, less touchdowns. Sterling Joseph almost crossed 1,000 yards. He would have if we just used him as the starter all year. There was not one standout receiver this time around either, with Justin Devon leading the team in yards, tied for touchdowns with Jackson Warren. They were basically just 1 and 2 for us. We're about to find out who's going to stay and who's going to leave, though. With 50 coach points to spend, we can actually make sure that every single position besides our special teams gets an off-season training boost. That is massive. I am all here for the continual improvement. JoJo Stone, we have a chance to convince him to come back. He has decided to stay too, which is a very big deal. I guess I didn't consider that we'd be able to pull off stuff like that. Low chance, it means Roger Claiborne's going to stay on our defense as well. What about Tyson Carter? Just another receiver? He's not been persuaded. Then we have quarterback Javier Sermons. He's decided to transfer out as a freshman. He actually had star dev. I didn't realize he cared about playing time. He wasn't going to play for us anyway. We did convince one other player to stay. But more importantly, let's look at some of the players leaving. We have multiple defenders getting drafted in the first and second round. Then we have to say goodbye to Websley Etienne, Antonio Patterson, some big safeties on our defense. We're going to lose a left tackle. We're going to lose our second best defensive tackle. But outside of that, we're not losing as much as I thought we were. I think we can definitely continue to build on the seasons we've been having. We won 9 games. This year we won 10 games. Next year, we're going to shoot for 11. I truly believe that since we were able to put all these defensive backs into the NFL with these early picks, they transferred in, they played for a year, and they made a difference, that's going to convince more people to transfer. It's the reason we're going to have 4 stars interested again, including at the running back position this time around. I'm going to have to look into all these guys. Last year, I ignored the juniors, but they clearly can come in and do a lot. I'm just going to scout the running backs until I can see the speed. I like Shifty as an ability. 91 speed on Jay Haynes makes him a very interesting pick. And if anyone, Kedron Young is the one that I don't want the most because JP Powell also has some solid abilities. I could upgrade these guys as well. Clemson's just going to be in the lead for a couple of them. I mean, I'm just re-looking over our school grades at the moment. We're a top 25 team for championship contender. Program tradition's not going to be there for a while, but our brand exposure went up because we played some national TV games. Because we don't always play on Saturday, that has helped for that for sure. Coach prestige is going up. Conference prestige isn't as terrible as I was thinking. The MAC is still below us. And the facilities aren't high. This normally takes forever to rise, but we have the money to do it. So I hope we can. Academic prestige not going to change. And then stadium atmosphere. When do we get to max out our stadium? I'm hoping next year it's full. If I don't recruit any quarterbacks in the transfer portal, we have a room of just 1. So I have to recruit like 3. I just feel like I don't have enough space on the board for what I want to sign because we also need to make sure that we bring in some receivers. I think our offensive line is pretty weak too, but we can't bring in transfers since we signed freshmen. After really thinking it over, still not quite sure how I want to approach this whole period yet. We're just going to have a week where we feel things out. We put some scholarships on players, put some hours into other guys. We need a couple quarterbacks. That's a guarantee, but I also want to sign some 4 stars. I really wish I could just lock in a couple of these guys, but as you're going to see with Kedron Young, he was the 88 speedster. Oklahoma's taking a lead on a visit week. We're not going to land him. Then we look at JP Powell. He's about to visit Kansas State, and I still can't hard sell on him, so we're probably going to lose him too. Jay Haynes is an even worse situation. Our in-city rivals Miami have decided they want him more, so on a visit week, he fell to 3rd. Then we had Jericho Washington Jr. take us down to number 5. And I just don't see how we're going to beat out Miami or Florida State for this kid. I wanted to bring Cutter Boley over to FIU, but he wants to go Middle Tennessee. We can take him off of our board. Miami has actually come out of nowhere and just been a pain for every player. Even this Mike linebacker, we had him on a visit. We had him on a hard sell, but Florida State and Florida, they're the bigger programs, so they're going to get him too, and we have to find 6 more recruits that I want to target. Well, these are some of the other guys I've been able to pick up on. Some of them are juniors. Some of them are a bit younger, like freshman Tristan Glass. He is a 6'4" speedster receiver, but he cares about brand exposure, so I'm afraid he's going to transfer here, then transfer again. I'd rather have more guys on the roster, though, and we need quarterbacks, but Miami's so determined to get this kid that we're going to have to pull out. And then, like I said, Kansas State wanted JP Powell, so we're not going to get a 4-star there. That was really frustrating to see until I scouted Malachi James in this final week, a 97 speed transfer junior. We might not be able to come back and win this battle, but I'm going to do everything that we can too. Now that I've discovered that kid, if anyone else steals him away from us, I'm going to be so salty. We ended up getting a quarterback that's just going to be a backup for us. I mean, most of these kids, I'm literally looking to add depth. Even Terrell Doucette, he'll probably transfer eventually. He had deal breakers at one point, then he didn't, but we just want to fill up our team with as many players as possible. Because I think last year, we only had 67 guys on roster. There's another huge name I was looking for, though. Charlie Collins, he was one of the transfers that was a 4-star. I bet he's going to be good. We beat out Boise State for him, and Malachi James has selected our school. Look at this, man. Just so many winners. This is amazing. We made 17 signings in a week, so we actually have a full class of 35 guys. I'm going to scroll through and look through their dev traits. Most importantly, though, what does Malachi James have? He is going to have impact. It's unfortunate, but Charlie Collins has stars, so he'll probably take another big jump forward in the offseason. We got some 3 stars with star as well. And our recruiting class ranking this time around is going to be down at 47th in the country, so we're still far away from being able to build like a national title contending roster, of course. We should be far away. But if you go back and you compare the classes that we're putting together versus the rest of our conference, you do this for a couple years in a row with a lot of transfers, and you're going to dominate. dominate. Like, let's just say that the ACC theoretically wanted us. This class would put us at about the 10th best in that conference. The American, this would still put us like top 1 or 2. I still cannot believe what we got with Malachi James either. I'm just going through position changes right now, but once we get to training results, we're going to boost him up as much as we can. I really don't want to do any position changes at the moment though, even though we could need them for our strong safety position because they're bugged at the moment. You'll add on like 40-50 skill caps no matter where you move a player. This was put in place so you couldn't move a guy anywhere, like a halfback over to linebacker, he could still get to a 95 or something. But if you move a guy from like left tackle to left guard, it's affecting those people as well. So I think it's a bug that they're working on. For now, if we still want our players to have maximum progression, we're just going to have to use the depth chart to make sure the best players are on the field. It's annoying to me, but not the end of the world. It looks like we can get dev trade upgrades as well. So there's Devon going up 1. I completely forgot that was in the game. Justin Devon was our best receiver last year. So he went up to impact and he cares about championship contender. So he's going to stick around. Here is the big name you all care about though the most likely. Alexander Bean. He is a 79 currently with his star dev 42 skill points to spend. We're going to be able to get his accuracy maxed out, but from this point forward, he will never get better at throwing under pressure or his deep throw accuracy. There's no abilities for those throwing stats we'll be able to give him either, which means we might need to start looking for a quarterback that could get better than him. Another thing that is very underrated we might want to focus on is increasing his toughness and stamina just so he can last longer for us in the future. We're going to increase his speed a little bit. I wanted to focus on elusiveness, but we'll wait until next year. Then we have Malachi James. He only has 24 skill points to spend, but even if we can't get his elusiveness stats up that much, his juke move and spin move aren't that great. I feel like we have to use him a lot. It's really expensive to upgrade power, so we might just increase his hands and make him one of the best receiving backs on the team. That at least give us a good reason to have him out there on the field. Sterling Joseph didn't get a dev trade upgrade, so it's still pretty expensive to upgrade stuff for him. I can't believe it, but we spent all his skill points already with those 2 changes. I'm going to be honest, on the offensive side of things, I don't think there's that much to get excited about, like guys that can get up to 95 overalls, at least at halfback and quarterback. I'm going to look through receiver and tight end next. I'm just going to go through and upgrade most of them. Since guys like JoJo Stone and a couple others care about brand exposure, we can get their overall higher. He's going to be a lot better at catching and route running, but they're going to transfer in a year. We might have actually hit the jackpot with Eugene Hilton Jr. transferring in though. You can see his route running stats are going to be high. His catching stats are going to be pretty high. And he is only a junior, so we're going to have him around for 2 years. At the end of the day, too, I know our receiving core took a major step forward because this is where Daryl Clausen is, and this is where Justin Devon is. We have all these other transfers that came in that are going to be better than them. Tight end room isn't as fun. Jackson Warren is still that 6'8 beast, but that 73 speed holds us back. We're going to have to wait years before those guys that we've recruited that have 86 speed actually play. Then we have to talk about some of these defensive players because Micah Strickland has 94 speed, 98 excel. He is a sophomore with star development that I want to focus on. He's going to start for us at free safety this year. Then we have Dijon Lee Jr. as our best cornerback. Losing our really good defensive backs that all went on to the NFL has hurt this team a little bit, but Myron Robinson, he's a great Mike linebacker. And then our defensive line between Charlie Collins, Jaden Woods, and Jordan Thomas is just great. I will say our strong safety position is a little bit weak. Ty Cordova is a freshman with impact development. That sounds great on paper, but he only has 81 speed, and that can never get upgraded. Either way, we're going to have a 78 overall team next year, 81 defense just like last season, but a 76 offense, so it's improved. And there's only about 9 or 10 players that would potentially transfer out, which is also really good. It definitely worries me, though, that Jordan Thomas is one of those players threatening to transfer. He's hitting 89 overall, and he's at a small school, so he's probably going to look for playing time at a bigger one. But here's another look at the roster. Lots of our best players still on the defensive side of the ball. But we do have a couple on offense that are really solid too, so I'm excited. We will see what Season 3 has in store for the FIU Panthers. I appreciate all the support with this series. We're just going to keep on pushing, and I am hoping that we can have a great conference slate next year so we can end up changing conferences.